Hello and welcome. It's Roller Wiener Monday here in beautiful Lafayette, Indiana, where it was 36 degrees this morning. I hope everybody is doing good. Holy mackerel. What is going on out there today? It's a great day. It's nice and sunny out today. Safe Driver Week, 11th to 17th of July. Hey, there's an emergency declaration just like we thought would happen. Isn't that great? A fish and milk crash in Washington. I was trying to think of what exactly did I put on there? Okay, the fish and milk crash in Washington. This family of a cement driver is going to take some people to court, and I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. USA Truck says, hey, you know what? We talked to our drivers, and we have a new pay system. We actually listened to somebody. Did you see the 88-year-old truck driver in the news this week? I posted it on the Facebook page. We got some stocks, fuel, and Dogecoin information, and what's going on out there today. So, let's see. Where am I here? Oh, so I had Alexandra first the other day right after posting. I appreciate that. George Costanza here first today. It's good to see you. Then the president, George H.W. Bush, was here today. Kelter Rusu Travels. Hello there. It's good to see you. Mark Ely is here. Eddie McFadden, Holly Mackerel, Mike Rainey. Everybody's here. Kelly Patterson's here. Joan Ark, hello. How's it going down there? Yikes. Chris 7601, what's going on? Misty is here. What's happening? Trucker Hershey, Denver. Is there snow on the ground out there? I saw they had a big snowstorm out west again. Yikes. 42 and raining. Looks like snow soon. Wonderful. And question asked and answered, as they say. Beautiful day in southern Indiana. I agree. Nike sliders. Yikes. That's not something we want. I love this, right? I saw this earlier. Misty, how's everybody doing? I'm running relays out of Portland, Oregon. Next couple of weeks, rental car and a Nissan Maxima and staying in a Hilton Garden. That's how over the road should be. That's correct. And right now, while you are staying at the Hilton Garden and driving a Nissan Maxima, there are 4 drivers staying in the same room at CRST without a television set and a lights out and having the room searched in the morning. So that's 2 ways to truck. All the TLGP Transco trucks were out east last week. I didn't see a darn one of them. Salt and Murray, what's happening out there? Flip-flop haters are just jelly. You don't have awesome pedicured tootsies like mine. That's true. Nobody would want me in flip-flops, even if I wanted to wear them. It takes a special kind of foot to wear a flip-flop, that's for sure. And that should be on a bumper sticker. Not this one. Okay, certainly not this one, but some people could wear it. You can wear those by the pool at the Hilton Garden also. I'm sure it has a pool. There's a Hilton Garden here, and it has a pool in it. So, hello from cloudy Alabama, chicken hauler. Diesel's about to go through the roof, ready at $5 a gallon. Get ready for it. I'm ready. No problem. As soon we will find out. George Costanza says, which I even wrote down, diesel prices don't affect me. Company driver life. That's correct. Let it rise. And really, if you get good enough fuel mileage and you're buying the fuel, remember, as an owner-operator, it doesn't affect you either. So as long as you get the fuel mileage, no problem on the fuel. So that's the good thing about it. Nissan Maxima is a very nice car. Have fun. Good day to all. George Wilson. Yeah, that's not a bad rental car. It's not some Versa, at least. Holy mackerel. Happy Roller Winter Monday and a delayed Happy Mother's Day to our female drivers. Michael Muller. Yes, all women that were mothers or had mothers or going to be mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you. I do find that it's a made-up holiday. It kind of offends me that way. So, all these holidays just really to sell things, not really to honor mothers, made up by like Hallmark. So. Morning, fellow plebeians. Happy Monday from Provo, Utah. Wow, what's happening out there? No coffee for you out there, right? Nick Fast. Hello there. What's happening? Trucker Wizard. Hi. Dwight, where's my wiener? Hey, it's ready for you. John Staniszewski. Happy Rolling Wiener Monday. What's happening? Company drivers better than owner operators. I don't know. Each has their thing, whatever you want to do. That's a good thing about trucking, right? Owner-operator, not for me, but it is for some people. So if you love it, do it. That's the whole key to everything. What's the point of life if you're not going to do what you enjoy? The pipeline got hacked. Hopefully someone hacks all the over-the-air program for trucks and weld shut everything down. Maybe we can get paper logs back. Well, we don't want paper logs because how many hours do you want to drive? That's always my question. That was always the problem, is we have to drive 17 hours. Samuel Edward, good morning. Let me start my log sheet. Yeah, let's get those loose leaf logs out. Hi, Alexandra. And the plebeian culture is interesting. Yes. Billie Jean King, she's my sister in tacos, Mr. Misty. Yes, exactly. That's exactly correct. Price of fuel will affect everyone. Company drivers and owner-operators. Holy mackerel, I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, Red Wine 5, hello. Good morning from Pocahontas, Iowa. Is that a real city? Hello from New York. Theo, what's going on out there? I scoured the Green Book, George Costanza. There's no regulation that says bungees can't be used for securement. Securement devices aren't required to have a weight rating on them. There's some kind, I don't know what the law is on it. There's a securement addendum or whatever to the... There's a whole securement thing you have to go through. I don't do somebody on here that does flatbeds. What's the story on that? Columbia, Georgia, 37 miles an hour. I had a company call me this morning, tried to sell me on 1099 at 45 cents. Joan Arc, wow. 45 cents at 1099. Wow. What is the benefit to that at 45 cents a mile? I guess that it's 45 cents net to you is what they would say to you. Holy mackerel. That's not great at all. Al Johns, I missed my courtesy call. I'm sorry about that. I'll be home in Oregon next week. Kelly. Oh, right. Everybody's headed back out that way. People should check. I posted your video out on the Facebook page, and actually I think I sent it to Twitter. I'm not sure if I put it on there right. The amazing cooking that you're doing in the truck. Really something. Joshua, good morning from Kentucky. So I'm finding the ticket I got in mid-April. Green Book, Trump, Stupid Trooper, George Costanza. Okay. Oh, that's where that's coming from. Okay, well, that's interesting. Just only take the Green Book in and see what the judge says about it. Are you getting an attorney for that? Or are you going to do it yourself? 37, nice, safe speed. Yeah, right. Safe for only him. I had a company call me this morning and tried to sell me. There we go. I missed that one, right? At 45 cents. That's crazy. Make gas 50 per gallon. Most of the traffic will go away. I've always thought, let's add $1 to the gallon of gas. Let's get a gas tax of $1 and actually only put it for roads, right? I mean, and then people wouldn't commute to work in an F-350 dually as well. Or you could if you want to, right? No problem. I don't mind that. Joni, you got to jump at that opportunity. Yeah, no doubt. Let's go get that. Did you ask them, ooh, how many trucks do you have available doing that? TJ Jones and the Bull of the Woods, giggity, hello. Good afternoon from Chicago, Leon. Wow, what's happening in Chicago? Duck and zigzag around there. They had like 12 shootings this weekend. Pretty nice. Heard gas is $4.50 a gallon now. Really? I wasn't out today, but yesterday, $2.98 here. I wrote that down. Gas $2.98 here at the Speedway. So not terrible. I didn't get any gas yesterday. I didn't need any. Alexander, but total bleep. I'm just bleeping out up here. I bet I'm the only driver here that earns frequent flyer miles doing my job. Misty. Yeah, there's not many. I will say, I bet there's some Schneider drivers that do that because Schneider still has that fly program. And they actually advertise in Alaska and Hawaii. They tell you that you can live in either of those states and still drive here. So they fly you back and forth. Now, I don't know if you get to keep your frequent flyer miles if you're doing that for them. But there's not many, and you have a very good opportunity there, way better. That's better than most road jobs. I mean, holy mackerel. Gas is $3 to $3.20 here. All right, so it hit 309 here earlier this week, and then it went back down. Not terrible. It's still not what it was. Gas is a minor part of everybody's life. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. TJ Jones, there's a 1099 company offering 80 cents in Chicagoland. That's better. I mean, then they're kind of making a case for it that, all right, we're going to split the savings with you. That's always the thing. Since they're saving money, you should get more. You should at least get a split on that money from them. Then, you can almost make a case for it when you're getting that kind of money. That's not too bad. If you had 3,000 miles, it's $2,400 net to you. Good morning from California. It's raining its butt off in Gulfport, Mississippi. That's normal, right? Can you bring some warmth from that up here? So far, I've got 80 nights stayed at Hilton Hotels. Misty, do you just go on vacations for free all the time because of all those points too? Besides the frequent flyer miles, all the points at hotels? 15 like 67 jet throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Nice Stewie reference there. That's one of the best lines in the whole show. WLL has to be on your securement. This year. I'm just wondering, do you just travel to Hawaii for free? You almost could, right? I laughed at him and hung up on him. I told I was 1099 with Gainey and Sierra England in 2007 was over $1 a mile. Yeah, exactly. I mean, 45 cents today isn't even worth doing as a company driver, much less 1099. Could you even understand the person speaking to you? Reefer Madness Trucking. My new company truck goes 83. Not sure how often I'll go that fast. Wow. That must be a small place. That's not your traditional large carrier, certainly with an unlimited truck. Although once in a while, they'll rent you a truck. I've had this over the years. Like my truck got struck by lightning years ago. They rented me a truck, and that truck went pretty fast. So it was pretty enjoyable. $298. Glad my company pays it. Yeah, exactly. Who cares how much it is? When I did the flatbed, this says the straps has to be DOP approved along with everything else for securement. Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. Who else is doing flatbed right now? You know. Also told him place like GP Transco pay their company drivers 60 cents, and some are 80 cents exactly. I mean, at 45 cents, he's low on a W-2. The only benefit, I guess, is that there's no tax on it, so it makes it worth a little bit more money. John McCain is here. Oh, good to see all these politicians. Happy Roller Wiener Monday. Hello there. Alexandra Diesel was $3.45 when I filled this morning in Rawlins, Wyoming. All right, I think it was in the $3.20-something range on Friday. I'll have to check it at the old Petro. John, you keep it. Sense a little bit up here for crying out loud. My bonehead trucker vest arrived today. What is a bonehead trucker vest? It's that where your chest is cold, but your arms are warm. Is that an actual thing? I don't know actually what you're talking about. Keltarusu Travels, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Happy Roller Minute Monday. Tip your house so we can quit the poll. Oh, yeah, but you do that because you want to, not because you have to. Right? And it's also for college. Misty, I keep my hotel points at flyer miles, but I pay and get reimbursed for my expenses, which include gas and rental car. Yeah, that's normal. It's like Mark says, there are great jobs, and you just got to look for them. Exactly. Look, you found that job, and that's a great job. I mean, hotels, rental car. There are people that are sleeping, in the back of a parking lot for 4 days, not getting paid anything. You're lounging by the pool, literally. When do you think the electric tractor trailers will dominate the industry? Oh, my gosh. Decades. Local trucks first. Local first for that, because they're going to need to come back and fuel, by plugging in at their home terminal. So you have decades. That local trucks will take that first, and that isn't a problem. I would drive one. If they said we're going to bring all electric trucks in, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Whatever they want to give me to drive. If it's legal for the road, I'm in, and I'd love to drive an electric truck, so it'd be fine with me. Trying to get my dogs to go out and use the bathroom. Usually that's not a problem. The dog stands by the door or whatever. How often do you get an oil change, tire rotation, and transmission flush? And is buying a Ford warranty worth it? Well, the oil change and tire rotation come together at Ford with the Works. All right, so the Works, my dealer, it's $39.95 for an oil change, tire rotation, and wash. But if you buy the car there, they take $10 off of any service, including that. So it's $29.95, a bargain at the dealer. And they do a video of underneath your car. And so I think that's worth it. And the tire rotation goes with it. I do 2 a year because of the low miles. So spring, it's actually going to go in this month. And then again in the fall, probably November-ish, it'll get its other oil change before that. And transmission do every 30,000 miles. And that's about $139 at the dealer. If I keep the car to 30,000, I'll get a transmission flush at 30,000, and that's not bad. And is buying a Ford warranty worth it? If you're going to keep the car past its warranty, yes. Otherwise, no. If you're going to get rid of it anyway, no. Like if you're leasing it for 3 years, no way. But if you're going to keep a car, look, they're expensive. When I had that engine taken out, it was $7,000. It would have been. So that's all warranty. Anything, all these sensors and stuff all over the car. Then you get a warranty if you can't afford to fix it. But if you buy an $800 car, then probably not worth the warranty. You get a nice car and you're going to keep it, warranty. I don't keep a car past warranty generally that the wife drives. So that she doesn't have any problems. 393.102 does not establish manufacturing standards or marking requirements. Therefore, securement do not require a label. It must be able to restrict movement longitudinal and horizontal. Really? I kind of thought they had some kind of, isn't there like extra training that they do on flatbeds and stuff? Boy. D Prince, hi everybody. That's directly out of the Green Book. I would have that and take it in there with you to court if you're going to court. And are you taking a lawyer? I'm still curious about that. I think your state of Indiana is the most rigid load securement protocol. A strap is required every 4 feet. Well, we try to, we do our best. I get $40 a day per diem, and as a single chick, that extra beer's at the girl bar. Yeah, exactly. $40 a day per diem plus the motel plus a car. Man, that's not bad. You still have to pay taxes at the end of the year. He said it was from Louisville to Indy at 2,014 miles a week. How many times a day do you do that? One would only pay for lease and nothing else. Forget that guy. Electric is a good local option until they're too much of a tax on the electric grid. Yeah, I agree. But I would like to drive one of the trucks anyways. And the deal would be a local truck, and then it could come back and plug in overnight. And by the next day, it should be ready to go again, right? I guess that's the idea of it. Dave Johnson's off for a week's vacation. Glad to be here. I'm glad that you're here. And enjoy the time off. That's the thing. We all work hard so that we can take a vacation. Make your job your vacation, right? How about that? Make your vocation your vacation. You've probably seen it, but UPS as compressed natural gas. I see them on the road. I've ever seen a CNG truck from England. I haven't seen one of those. The milk place, Fair Oaks Farms, just north of here, they run a bunch of natural gas trucks because the truck stop here at the 168 mile marker, if you ever get off here on I-65 in Indiana, that Circle K down there has compressed gas fueling. Before the diesel pump, there's a couple of natural gas pumps, so enjoy that. Al John's, the sensors. I know, all these sensors all over the cars, any of those go out. If you want anything fixed, it's going to be super expensive. So if you're keeping a car with all these sensors, lane keeping, and Ford 360, which gives you an overview of the car and little sensors go off all the time, that's all expensive. So if you're going to keep it, get a warranty. Because when they go out, you're never going to get them fixed. Are we supposed to even log on personal time? What are we logging on personal time? What do you mean by that? Where do you read the Indiana securement requirements? The price of electricity will skyrocket. Yeah, well, the more people that need it, but then the good thing, diesel will come down if nobody's using it. Yeah. Alexander, too bad I'm going to be stuck in Utah for the rest of the day. The only thing to do here is mess with Mormons. Just walk around drinking coffee. I don't use diesel, but I love electricity. Headed north from Tennessee to Troy, Ohio. Well, that's not too bad. Come on up here. You won't be that far away. Who saw this 88-year-old driver? Did you see this guy? I don't have a picture of him. This driver was 88 years old. He got stopped in, I'm going to say Colorado, but he's from North Dakota. And they stopped him during the inspection blitz, and they asked him if they could take his picture, which he agreed to because he said it would be positive for the industry. He had an immaculately maintained 2,379 Pete. That's pretty good. There are companies that can't immaculately maintain a 2020 Pete. They told him it was immaculately maintained, and he's been driving not that long, I guess, for some years, and then he went to be a Volkswagen mechanic, and then came back to trucking. His wife died in 2016, so he said he has nothing to be home for, so he's on the road. He had kids and grandkids and stuff, but that's another story. Either way, his truck looked nice, and he said as long as he can pass a physical, he's going to continue to drive. And I noted at the end of the article, it was on CDL Life or one of these places, that people were commenting, well, he's so old, he's exempt from the physical. I'm like, no. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you're exempt from a physical. But he does pass it, obviously, and still drives. So pretty interesting. 88 years old, almost 89. Turns 89 really quickly. And he's just going to continue to drive as long as he can. I'm all for it, I guess, if he passes his physical, and I think he should pass a driving test at that point. I was told back in 72 when I did flatbed from Maverick Dreaming. Yikes, flatbed in 1972. I think the rules have probably changed a little bit since then. Where did this go off to over here? I have so many clicks. Oh, right here, right. We haven't seen this guy come out in a while, which is good. He should go stay back wherever he was. Yikes. That's not the thing that we need. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention the sponsor today, too. They're going to get mad at me. Today's show is sponsored by Crystal Pepsi. You've never seen it taste like this. All right? Crystal Pepsi is the clear alternative to your thirst. So, that's correct. Crystal Pepsi. What? What am I? Crystal Pepsi is the clear alternative to your thirst. Get one today from a convenience store near you. Doesn't federal law state that we're to log, like when we're not driving, time off in your personal vehicle? Well, if you're off duty, I said duty. If you're not working, like on the weekend or whatever, or whenever you're home off duty, there's nothing else to log except off duty. And when you come in, certainly when I come in today, and log in, it will say, were these last 2 days, off duty? Do you agree to this log, basically? And so, yes. And that's all you have to do. And I never log anything other than a city and state of change of duty status. I don't put all this extra information in there because I don't want the cops to have it, and it's not required. But just your off-duty time will just be off-duty. An 88-year-old driver, that guy knows his stuff. Yeah, I do think that he had like 40-some years of driving after his Volkswagen mechanic thing. But yeah, right. And he said, look, I will tell you, he's probably more likely to be on time than some 21-year-old maybe on some of the stuff. It sounds like the white bed sheets of Tennessee. No disrespect. I've just never seen that written officially. Okay, look. Yeah, right. Some people, and I always heard the white bed sheets was always Massachusetts, I heard. But I guess there's different stories about it. But that was always told me, well, if you go to Massachusetts, you have to have white bed sheets, they always said, because in case there's an accident and you stop, you can only use white bed sheets to help at the accident. I'm like, I'm not stopping. I'm not a doctor. Well, you have to have them anyway. So, yeah, look, I agree. That'd be an interesting thing to look up. Compressed gas trucks at England and Swift, they'll have to change their motto. They'd blow up real good. Look, it's hard enough to have people figure out how to fuel a regular truck. Can you imagine having to fuel up a natural gas truck? Diesel is currently $3.29 in Florida and gas $2.73. Well, we're going to save about 20 cents going down there. Al John just wants to live past 60. Hope he'll retire at 60. Daimler electric cell fuel truck called the Mercedes-Benz Gen H2 drives 600 miles before refuel. They expect to start piloting the truck in 2023. Yeah, see, but the thing is, the refuel, a compressed electric fuel cell truck, I don't know how long the refuel would be on that. That would be all right as long as you can fill it up, like the Mirai, hydrogen-powered car from Toyota. There's like 70-some, I was watching a review about it, 70-some stations to fuel publicly in the United States. 80% of them are in California. And so that's a real problem. Until there's refueling, that's not going to be a thing that's going to work. Misty, the old guy rocks. He's my hero. Yeah, look, his truck, if he can maintain a truck that's 21 years old, his truck can buy beer and vote. And it looked great. Okay. Way better than these companies do. I don't know what to say. Let's keep this guy driving. If that keeps him going, okay. Mark, going to renew my license. I now have glasses. I need to update my medical card to say glasses, or can I still use my medical card till it expires? Well, the thing is, if it's on your driver's license, and I get this all the time, ironically, if it's on your driver's license, you'll still have to have them on. And if it's on your medical card, you'll still have to have them on. So if it says glasses on either one, you're going to have to wear them. My driver's license says glasses, but my last physical I passed without glasses, ironically, because I always try it without glasses. And that was about, when I get that, I'd say 2 weeks ago now. I just got my last physical, and I passed it, no glasses this time. And every once in a while, I'll pass a driving license test, which will be here in a couple months, for glasses or no glasses. But because it's on my driver's license, I still have to wear glasses when I'm driving. I don't understand it, but I pass it sometimes. Securement requirements are designed federally designated. The interstate commercial clause is federal according to SCOTUS. I like to mix my Crystal Pepsi with Zima. Zima, nice. You're old enough. It's okay if you're blind. Well, only to drive. Otherwise, I can see some things. I remember Crystal Pepsi and also New Coke. I think Crystal Pepsi stayed around longer than New Coke. Crystal Pepsi looks like it's just water. It looks like it, but you do it just for the taste of it, right? I don't believe states get to dictate securement requirements. They can dictate routing, but securement is established by the FMCSA. FMCSA should be federal, so any securement requirement on interstate load should be federal, I would think. George Costanza, well, thank you very much. 10 days without caffeine. Wow. Still drinking water in lieu of soda and Monster. Feeling awesome. Highly recommend kicking the caffeine and nicotine. I agree. Nicotine, caffeine, get rid of it if you can. Look, just get some sleep. Seriously. Sleep at the same time every day. Oh, well, it's easy for you to say. That's true. But that does help. And drink water all day. I take a couple of big jugs of water with me, and I think it works a lot better that way. Kelterusu Travels is here for the Diet Tab. That was some good stuff. Nothing like good old-fashioned caramel color. Yeah, you don't need that. We can see right through it. What if you have to drive an hour each way to work? Are required to log this time? No. Joan argued commuting time is specifically not logged as driving time. It's not logged as anything. It's off-duty time. Now remember, though, which I think companies should pay more attention to, Tracy Morgan, that was his name, that guy that hit him, which was a Walmart truck, that guy had a long commute, and he got sued over it because his commute was so far. Now, his commute was longer than most people. And Walmart's contention was, well, look, he's legal. He still had hours to drive. But don't let your commute make you too tired to drive. He apparently fell asleep at the wheel. That's what they suggest. Anyway, Walmart had to pay like $89 million on that lawsuit. So don't let your commute be so long that you get tired. You know, we have people that come in from Logansport, or they come in like an hour away and then drive 14 hours. I don't understand that personally. I think that's too much, way too much driving. But your commute time doesn't have to be logged no matter how far it is. And that Walmart driver, he commuted like 400 and something miles, which is crazy. Who commutes 800 miles to work, round trip? Not me. But that's how far his commute was. Oh, Kelly, thank you very much. Keep it up. I'm going to try to keep it up. I appreciate it. Tommy Cash, thank you. Goodness. Still is Crystal Pepsi Coke. It's called Sierra Mist and Sprite. I do remember the clear craze of the 80s. Everything was clear. Oh, there was clear ketchup too. That's right. And there's that clear soap. Yeah, clear ketchup. I can't remember the name of that stuff. Oh, who had that stuff? I'm like, wow, how does ketchup get clear? How do they take the red out of it? It's magic. Luke, I missed last week's show. I was moving. I'm really happy with my move. All right, where'd you get off to? I'm older now. I'm not worrying about dressing up fancy. The 88-year-old was stopped in North Dakota and is Denver-based, according to the article. He drives for Salt Lake City Company. I had it reversed then, I guess. I thought he was stopped in the one and was the other one. But he was all over the place, right? He drives and he's gone. The truck looked good. I'm straight pocket t-shirt, depends and zip-up boots. That's all you need to get outside. Most people don't have any pride of ownership that extends from their personal life to their work life. Michael Muller. Part of it is, I can't care more about the truck than the company does. So when sometimes the wash people don't come or whatever because they have a wash crew that comes in and washes the truck supposedly on Sunday when everybody's in, but sometimes they don't come. The company won't let you wash the truck. Oh, we don't want to wash the truck. It costs money. Well, if they don't care, I can't care more than they care. Like when I call them and say, okay, it's time for a service because there's a little sticker just like a car, and then they don't get to it for like 4 months, how am I supposed to care more than that? It's their truck. So that kind of is, demoralizing. I don't work, I just collect unemployment. That's what most people are doing, right? Let's see. Flavio's checking in. Well, it's good to see you. Michael Muller, Pepsi, not good. What about Crystal Pepsi? Gustavo, had to get towed 30 miles. Total tow bill $1,800. I'm in the wrong business. Exactly. Wow. $60 a mile. I think we need to get some people in on being owner-operators of tow trucks. $60 a mile. Kelly, for a lot of retirees in the last 6 months, then they get bored and go back to work or volunteer. Idle hands are the devil's playground. Right. Well, what I'm suggesting is when you retire, isn't there anything in your life else that you'd like to do besides work? That's the thing. Whatever it is you want to do. I mean, there's only so much time. You either die a legend or you die a nobody. Right. Go make something. Go do something. Do something. Working is not the greatest thing, I don't think. Let's go get something going on. States can always supersede the federal guidelines. The state has more power than the government. That's how our system is set up. Yikes. Adam, YouTube didn't give me my notification that your show was starting. What did I miss? Well, I'm sorry about that. Talk about potential fuel shortage on the East Coast. Yeah, look, the FMCSA as an emergency order through June 8th for fuel haulers and people that are assisting with the emergency on the Colonial Pipeline, which runs up and down the East Coast, all the way to Texas, right? All the way down there. So that's through June 8th for Colonial Pipeline relief. That's how they put it in place. Will there be a fuel shortage? I don't think so. I just don't think so. Fuel can come from other places and be trucked in over there, especially with this now, with the relief of the hours of service. Ketchup is repulsive at best, Alexander. I agree, right? Mustard all the way. My commute is 76 miles. Whoo, but I only do it to work on Sunday and home on Friday. Yeah, okay, well, that's not bad. I used to work in, when we moved here, I moved down here, oh my gosh, how many years ago? I was working in Mantino. Not Mantino. I can't think of it. Anyway, it was out I-80. It was like 2.5 hours each way. And I just kept that job for a while until I got employment here. So, absolutely. So that was a long commute, but it was once a week then also. I think if it's daily, it should be shorter. PB Jelly still doesn't work and only collects unemployment. Moved from Philadelphia to Follinsby, West Virginia. Oh, that's right. You're moving to West Virginia. Trucker Hershey heard someone bought a $300,000 tow truck, paid it off in a year. At $60 a mile, you can afford a $300,000 truck. When I retire, I'd like to smoke a lot of pot and do some coke. Well, look, everybody's got goals. Whatever your goals are, go do them. Even if that's your goal, do it. My commute to work is long when I live in Roseburg, Oregon, and work in Joliet, Illinois. 2,000 miles. That's longer than the guy that almost killed Tracy Morgan. 2,000-mile commute. Bruce checking in from Oklahoma, Texas border. Oak Tex. All right, it's good to see you. Hey, Mark, Western Express gave a big pay raise out over last week, 16 to 20 cent mile increase. Really? You know, I'm still waiting to hear from, I don't know if that was you, the Western Express driver that was teaming and making $100,000 a year. So they're going from 16 to 20 cents. That's pretty good. I went from 34 cents to 50 cents. That would actually be good if they actually did that. If are you actually being legit here? Because the 50 cents, that'd be amazing if Western Express did that. Why aren't they announcing that? I mean, I didn't find that anywhere. If anybody, Western would announce a 50% pay increase. Tow truck drivers genuflect to the patron saint of DPF, Kelter Rooster Travels. Yeah, so they can tow your truck in when that goes bad. I agree. $60 a mile? Can you imagine that? Sounds like we can't smoke pot if it's legal in that state. We're federally regulated. Joshua, that's correct. Do not mess with it while you're driving. It's federal. You cannot. It's still Schedule 1 federal, against the law in all 50 states. Some states are not enforcing it, but it's still federally against the law. And if you get busted on it, you're in the program. Right? You're finished. Right. Electric will take over far before we run out of fuel. Decrease in fuel price. Yeah, absolutely. Fuel shortage is real. NCL is about out of fuel. Really? Why aren't they trucking it in from somewhere else? See, the free market can correct this by bringing fuel from somewhere else by simply increasing the price. Should I quit my job and deliver gasoline? There are a lot of gasoline delivery jobs. I'll say that. Pilot is hiring. They're still running an ad today. So if that's something you want to do, yeah. Call them first and see what you think about it. I have a 6-hour round-trip commute once a month. See, that's less than some people who commute every day. We had a driver that commutes 10 hours a week for work, which I don't think is worth it. Alexander, that's why I don't want to keep trucking forever. I miss smoking pot. Look, well, as you know, you'll have to move into, you can go in the office. They're all probably high in there. Weed is legal here, and I smell it everywhere. It's around. Some states it's legal. Not here yet in Indiana. Keith, it's legit. I'm on with the VCT, which is a Connecticut terminal. Every terminal is paid different for the drivers. That's weird, but look, 50 cents, then they're getting in the game. If they'll correct some of their other problems, this may be a company moving up here. That makes them, if they're at 50 cents, that makes them a way better choice than a lot of other companies. Huh, that's something. I never thought we'd say that about them. That's good. And look, that's a huge increase for you. 16 cents a mile, it's going to be a gigantic increase for you. I love smoking, but I love making money more. Well, you're going to have to figure, look, Elon Musk, you're going to, like him, you're going to figure something out. Just simply start a car company. Western had an ad for Facebook Teams, 50 cents a mile split. Yeah, that's what their ad sort of suggests, 100 to 120,000 a year split for Teams. That's why there was a person on here suggesting 100 a person, but I wasn't seeing that from them. Electric trucks for over the road will be hybrid at first. Yeah, there's no way to do this on the road yet. The electric trucks will first come to local jobs and spotters, and you'll get maybe some kind of hybrid or something over the road, unless they figure something out for relays, over the road relays. The only way to do electric trucks on the road is to relay them, because it takes a while to charge them. No matter how fast, you can't only put it in there so fast. You get these gigantic megawatt chargers. The gigantic fans you're going to have to cool that thing off is going to be incredible. And you plug the truck in and half the town's going to dim out. George Costanza. That would be pretty funny. On the Milton Yard in Tulsa, Milton pays $2 a gallon for diesel. I filled up before I departed, and now I'd have to take it to Chicago. How do you know that? I mean, and I assume they do get a big discount. A large place like that at their own yard, that's why they levy to fuel at their terminals, because it's so cheap for them. So they're saving over $1 a gallon. Not bad. I hope that they pass it on to any owner-operators if they have them there. I don't think companies should make money on products that they sell owner-operators personally. Whatever product that an owner-operator buys from the company should be at cost, and that'd be another benefit to working there. It's like, all right, we just pass this on direct. Whatever our cost is, you can have it at that price too. That would really benefit an owner-operator if they could buy fuel for $2.02 a gallon. I heard there's a Mudflap app that helps you with that. Imagine the weight of the batteries. Yeah, they said that, it's about 3 times the batteries in a Model S is going to go in the semi. That's what Musk has said, and he's certainly the leader on that. Company drivers are Western at 16 cents. That is really low. I've seen 27 for them, but if they're given a raise like everybody else, hey, we got to commend them for that. I'm in it. I'm in for it. And then believe me, the ones that will appreciate it will be the drivers. The AC in my bunk has been blowing warm, but up front ice cold. You're going to have to sleep with the drapes open. All right, and then they do need to fix it too. You can smoke whatever, but companies don't have to hire you just because it's legal. State level CDL driver drug tests are federal. California prop. Yeah, look, you can do whatever you want. You just don't have to get hired. I agree with that. Melton or Maverick for flatbedding. Well, Maverick has been a pain to get on, and we have some Melton drivers that Melton is really doing a good job. So, we're going to have to say, call them and see which one fits you, depending on home time and stuff. That could be a big deal too. Like maybe one can get you home depending where you live. One can't get you home. If benefits are a problem, like insurance, one to maybe more or less or not cover things. But, that's going to be a personal thing when you call them. KLB claims 61 cents seems suspect. That's not bad. There's a lot of props for California. George Costanza, depends on what you want. If you want to be home on weekends, Maverick. Or TMC, employee owned. If you want to stay out and make money, Melton. So Melton is not a weekend deal. Tommy Cash, $60 an hour, but how many miles per week? And those heavy duty wreckers started at $500,000. Well, it was $60 a mile for the tow that was on here a little bit earlier. And that's pretty good money. You don't have to do too many of those to make the truck payment for that month. And what could a $500,000 truck payment be? $5,000? So what, $8,000 a month? If I'm not going to live in California to smoke pot, I'm not that desperate. Well, you don't have to go there now, right? Although the weather, that's good thing is the weather, and there's plenty of people on the sidewalk to help you enjoy it, as you walk down the sidewalk there. K and B, not KBL. K and B, yeah, no, they do have this. K and B. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. They do have a deal, 61 cents a mile. It's for road warriors, right? Which is what they call it. You're out for a couple months. But yeah, they do. They've had $1,350 a week guarantees for a while and stuff. It's just the treatment of people once you get there that they're still reporting. There are some reports as of April this year still popping up saying, look, they wake me up when I'm sleeping and stuff. That kind of thing is going to be super aggravating. So maybe on a dedicated run, it wouldn't be so bad there. But this other stuff, no way. It's Mr. Plow. Greetings. Oh, hello. Oh, Alexandra. Right, you wrote this the other day, too. I wanted to ask you. I cannot believe someone still has dial-up internet. Right. So I didn't even know it was available. So you're saying a family member has dial-up. But what is the speed of the dial-up internet on your family member's house? I didn't have any idea that you could get it. So people that saw this, there's a former driver that's going to ride his bicycle from South Haven, Michigan to Seattle. 2,200 miles. It's going to take 3 or 4 months. If anybody wants to get in on that, he said, just let him know and you can bring your bike and get in on it. And USA Truck also, for their pay, they said, you know what, we surveyed our drivers and you know what they want? Simple pay, which is what we've all asked for. Apparently, they have this super complicated pay, as many companies do, and drivers don't like it. So USA Truck is going to simplify their pay. They're just going to raise everybody's pay and get rid of bonuses so that you can understand your pay. You don't have to worry, am I get this bonus? Am I going to get that bonus? Am I going to get all this? Simple pay at USA Truck. Well, we've listened to our drivers. Drivers have been saying that probably since the first day that USA Truck opened. So, but they're going to get rid of all that, and that's what I've always said. Get rid of all these goofy bonuses and matrices, and some companies have charts and graphs. Just pay people a regular wage. Drivers would love it. It'd be a lot easier. One line. Your mileage times this or whatever. Or even better, salary. Your week times 1,700. You're in. Michael Muller, a few years back, my trailer slid in the ditch, cost the company $1,500 to get pulled out. That's a ripoff. $500 would be more reasonable. Yeah, well, when you're in the ditch and the tow truck's there, you don't have much choice, right? And that's the real problem. They kind of have you, but the other side is we shouldn't be in the ditch, I guess. So they're saying, okay, this is what we charge. Dial up, how much is the service? $3 a month. Oh, I didn't think about that. How much is the service? It's 50 kilobytes a second. Wow. 50 KB. I remember when I had it with 2,400 baud, and I replaced the modem myself. I cracked the computer open. You could buy modems at Best Buy. I bought a 28.8 modem. Oh my gosh, it was so fast. Pictures, it only took 3 or 4 minutes to see a picture. Incredible. As opposed to the 6 minutes, 7 minutes it would take. Just incredible. 50 kilobits a second. Companies use bonuses to hose the driver. PB Jelly. Yeah, look, they make the pay so complicated. Sometimes people don't even know what they're getting paid. It's so they'll have a base pay that's really low, and then people don't know what the other pay is. Cash is King Trucking. Thank you very much. Tip your host, Simple Pay for Mark. I appreciate it. Cash is King Trucking is here. He has several channels that I hope you'll check out. He's live a lot on his Cash is King Trucking channel. Also, Trucking with Diabetes. Be sure to check him out there. Wilford Brimley approved over there. Wilford Brimley. I love it. Oatmeal. The heavy wreckers are very expensive, yeah. And when you're in the ditch, they're like, okay, we're here. So this is what it charges. I work for USA Truck. Respect, and they want respect, and they way they treat me keeps me rolling with them. Yeah, look good. If they respect you, what the drivers apparently said is the pay system is too complicated. And USA Truck says, all right, we're going to simplify it. But drivers have always been saying that. So what they're going to eliminate all your bonus. I'm sure they told you already because it was in the news. They're going to eliminate a lot of bonuses and just raise everybody's pay up so that you don't have to worry. Did I get this bonus? Did I get that bonus? You're just going to get paid. Simple. I think the simplest way is the salary, of course. Here, you get $1,700 this week. That's the easiest way to do it. But the next way, of course, would be hourly. And then the straight mileage pay. But let's get rid of all these 10. Some companies start you like a dime. Here's your base is a dime. But once you figure all the bonuses out, you're at 63 cents. As long as you get all 47 bonuses, you can get 66 cents here. And crazy. I just assume I'm not going to get the bonus and do not rely on it. Well, the problem is some base pay at some places is too low. I got to get 3 of these bonuses or I'm not going to make it, Ron and Roy 81. Oh, thank you very much. You should doing it better for ATS. We just received a percentage pay from 24 to 28. Oh, they need an update too then. So it's even more there. Did they get up their guarantee or anything? Because they had remember they were one where you got a certain amount or another amount, whichever was the better, which was always good there. Are they still doing that? What's everybody's favorite interstate? Cash is King Trucking. I think the reason these companies do all these bonuses is so they can say we pay up to $9 million a week. Exactly. Then when you read the fine print, you have to do things that are unattainable. Like Schneider is huge on that in their ads. The $89,000 a week is what the ad says. And it actually says in the ad, the average driver makes like $72,000. I forget exactly how they word it. And you could make up to $89,000. They don't even say like most companies, like our highest paid driver made. They don't even think any of their drivers make it. They're like, they could make it, just nobody does. I think you're slowed down by the patches. When you're trying to walk in, they're so heavy you have to stop and rest. Because they give out patches all the time. If you think wrecker service is a ripoff, go ahead and leave the truck in the ditch. That's true. I mean, that's the thing. Everything is, costs a lot because you need it right then. Alexander, I find earned bonuses to be annoying. It's just like pay me. Exactly. Here, I'm a professional, pay me. Here, you get started at a nickel a mile, but then you get 10 cents for being on time, and you get 15 cents for doing these other things. Just pay people. And that's what USA Truck is going to change to. And they said this is what drivers want to do. Duh. Schuster Trucking, I'm surprised you don't have one of these. I looked into buying one of those heavy record towing companies. One of those rotator trucks used to be $250, and the insurance is unbelievable. Like 6 figures a year. Oh, in case you like lift up somebody's truck and drop it. 6 figures a year for insurance. So you're looking at $9,000 a month to insure that truck. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Yes, they're doing that. Good. That was always something I liked about ATS. Michael Muller Smith Transport went from 48 to 52 cents. Everybody's getting a raise. I need to get a raise. Yeah, up to MG Jackson. The thing is, most of the companies, when they list a high pay, they say our top driver earned. And so then it'll say 89,000. But Schneider doesn't even say that. It said potential to earn 80. Like, this is what drivers could. We don't have anybody that earned it. But if you did everything exactly right and stayed out all year, I guess that's how they figure it, you could make that much money. Kelly, Mesilla Valley Transportation has a complicated bonus system. And if they don't want you to get that, send your Cascade with a load of dog food. Right, because it's all fuel mileage based there. And so then they'll give you all these heavy loads. That's why I never like a fuel bonus. Never. At any company. I don't like it. Because I can't control it. I don't like a bonus for a driver or any employee that the employee doesn't have total control over if they get it. I can't control the fuel mileage of the truck. Maybe I don't get it fixed. They won't fix it. If something breaks down, I get dog food loads. I'm against the wind all the time. No way. I-35 is a good interstate to travel. I get the bonus for getting a bonus. I want a bonus and a bonus on top of that. If you earn this bonus, you automatically get another bonus. Oh, that'd be a great bonus program. Misty, when I was at Pride, I made a fuel bonus only twice. Running across Donner, running the Western 11 mountains, ruin any fuel bonus. Yeah, see, look, they should have a separate bonus for people out west on fuel, but I never like it. It isn't that, none of that is your fault. That you're going where you dispatched your employee. You have no choice. And so then you don't earn the bonus that they present to you. And so you think, oh, well, this bonus, then eventually you're not even going to try to get it because you know you can't get it. Fuel bonuses, I don't like. What if the plugs foul out and the truck doesn't run right? Then what? Then I'm not going to get the bonus. I don't like it. Handsome Poochie. Oh, hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm great. I'm on home time and just mowed the lawn. Found 6 ticks on me. Oh, that's gross. Do you have a possum there that could possibly eat them off of you? So you need to keep a possum in your area to get rid of those ticks. Can we do something about obese truckers? Truckers can do that about themselves. And so that's the only way to do anything about that, right? Look, if somebody passes a physical, we had a guy here that was 4 bills. So if you could pass the physical, I guess you could pass the physical, right? Trailliner, you've seen their trucks, right? Boy, there was an interesting article with them, wasn't there? This was great. So they talk in the beginning of the article about Trailliner. We talked to a company in Springfield, Missouri. That's why I clicked on it. Well, I thought it was going to be our other friends there. It turns out it's Trailliner. And they said, we're having a problem with the driver shortage. And I thought, oh, here we go. But then later on, Trailliner says, because of the chip shortage, they can't get trucks as fast as they'd like. And this is a quote, we have to turn drivers away. Well, wait a minute. If there's a shortage and you can't find drivers, how will you have so many drivers? You turn them away because you don't have trucks for them. Which is it? And of course, the reporter of the article didn't go on and ask any questions like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. No. If there's a shortage, they can't get trucks and turning drivers away. They have plenty of drivers. There's not a shortage if you have to turn them away. They didn't say we're turning away unqualified drivers. No, they said they have to turn drivers away because they don't have trucks to put them in because they can't buy trucks fast enough. So they cannot have this both ways. Favorite interstate's I-94, maybe west of Minnesota, or starting west of up there, but not through Chicago. Oh my gosh. Least favorite's 95. I-95's got to be the worst. Plugs follow. Creature 937. Yeah, if your plugs foul, it reduces your fuel mileage. That's what I'm saying. And so I don't want to get my fuel mileage reduced. If they refuse to change the plugs, then am I right? Can I get a what? That's what kids say. You won't get a fuel bonus if you're pulling 49,000 pounds of lumber out of Oregon to Indiana. Right. You'd be lucky to get 4 for the whole trip, especially right in winter, across 80 in the wintertime or whatever. You're going to idle for 3 days there in a thing? No way. I don't like a bonus that you can't control. The bonus should be totally in your control. IDI Ford V8. Hey, Mark, what's the future of car haulers? Great. I passed my local dealership and they seem short-handed on vehicles. I hope these guys don't lose a job. Well, it's because of the shortage, and Ford, there was just an article, has hundreds, I guess thousands of pickup trucks parked, and a lot of companies are doing that right now. Car haulers, don't worry. As soon as they get all these chips in, you're going to be super busy, and people are waiting to buy cars. So when will autonomous take serious inroads in our industry? Shortages in drivers will stop and opportunities will be less. A long time. ICE road drivers have most job security at highest payable. Well, it doesn't pay that much up there, really, relative to how much you do. I don't think, but it's decades before it has any kind of inroad into the industry. Decades. Everybody's got a job. Bonus Trucking LLC. Yes, that's correct. Maybe a baby born today may want to consider whether truck driving is a career for them. Clayton Ebersol, I swung too wide Jersey while I was snowing, winded up sliding down into a ditch due to ice. Truck was okay, but tow truck charged $800 for 15 minutes. Was only getting you on the road. Exactly. Well, if it's $10,000, $8,000 a month for insurance, it's going to be expensive to get that truck out there. Yep. Throw me a freaking bonus, Dr. Evil. I don't like any of these bonuses. Let's just pay people. Instead of 48 cents and 20 cents in bonuses, just pay 68 cents. But that way you don't have to give them to everybody, and you can make drivers kind of gamify the thing so they really try to work at it, and just hire better people. Hilterusi Travels. Guinea hens are great for eating ticks and won't tear up your yard. Okay. Guinea hens. I wonder where you would get one of those. Probably on the internet. Probably at Amazon. Cash is King Trucking. My grandfather used to have guinea hens. There's no rougher way to get them to get woken up. I mean, maybe your dog barfing in a way is rough. You don't keep them in your house, do you? Bonus in your control, you're too smart to drive a truck. Well, exactly. I'm saying if you want a driver or whatever employee at any business to do something and you're like, here's a bonus for doing this, this has to be in their control. You can't give somebody a fuel bonus and then say, like a fuel bonus, and here, run the 11 western states, and we expect you to get 8.8 miles to the gallon, and we're going to give you dog food loads all the time. And you have no control over the loads or where you run it. That's not fair. That's not fair. You can't make the bonus. There's just no way to do it. You have to turn the truck off and down the hills. Donald Stone, what do you think about the news story? The gas stations are going to have trouble getting fuel because they can't find drivers to fill the trucks. Down 25%. They pay a little bit more. Will that solve the problem? Well, that's always the problem. The free market is always the solution. Governments always get involved and stop it from being the solution. It was the solution for everything. It would have been this toilet paper solution. Toilet paper should have gone to $25 a roll, and people would have only bought what they needed. So I don't think there'll be that kind of a shortage the way they're talking about. Pilot has got an ad, but I haven't seen other ads. And there is, I'm watching it here, there's plenty. Let the fuel price go up enough for everybody to have fuel. That's all they have to do. But, places don't want to do it. Let it go up 5, 8, 10. What if fuel was $12 a gallon for your car? All right. You wouldn't buy as much of it, and there'd be enough left for everybody. That's the thing. Free market is the solution to all these problems. Shortages are caused when the government gets involved in the price. There's no gouging on prices. Whatever the price is should be the price. Went past Chrysler in Belvedere, Illinois. Not a single car on the lot to get shipped. Really? On the lorry to get shipped. Well, no neons up there? Are they done making neons? I don't know. What do they make? Their Jeeps, right? Don't they make Jeeps up there? I think. Hello, Mark. All the trucking questionnaire driving past the exit to Lafayette. All right. Waving as I pull my light blue priming floral trailer. Yeah. Were you the one that finally got up here from going so slow? Got that Flint to Denver run, 5,000 pounds. Got 10. Oh, that's nice. Wish you got a fuel bonus for that. Or do you? Flatbed trucks won't be automated. Let an automated truck try delivering to Chicago. Oh my gosh, George Costanza. Before the truck is going to be able to get into cities, we'll all be long dead. There'll be Trucking Answers 3 that have been taken over by then. Before it could get around in town, in a city, no way. No way. But someday there'll be drivers that go into Chicago and bring loads out onto 80 and 94 to some lot 50 miles, 80 miles out of town, and that where an automated truck takes it, all the way wherever it's going. Stan Dodge headed up I-81 to Pennsylvania. Glad I made it to a great show. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. 44,000 pounds going back to Kentucky. Should get 10 going downhill. Yeah, that's the thing. No fuel bonus for you. Minnesota and Wisconsin, my favorite trucking. Flat, straight roads, lots of non-TA truck stops. Aw, big rest areas and a little rough in the winter. A little bit. Like a lot bit. Cash, I wanted to choke a peacock or two, so forgive the guinea hens. Yikes. Choke a peacock. That's not something you want to do in public. Bonus is just hiring incentives to get you in, but it's just a pig with 5 pounds of makeup on. I know, that way they can advertise 74 cents, but really the base is 44 cents, and the rest of it is unattainable bonuses, some of them. I don't like it. And sometimes they add everything in. Well, if you add vacation, and if you also add in, all these other, that's not really pay, Peacocks sound like somebody's getting murdered. Bonuses reportedly makes go-getters make more and slackers less. Show me the stats and the money. Well, that's what they're trying to get you to do, something that you should already be doing, presumably, which is just simply deliver loads on time. That's it, right? Deliver loads on time. And for the fuel thing, they can just say, look, you can't run more than a certain percentage of idle time in your truck. It's simple as that. I like the 76 in Pennsylvania, plenty of parking. Yeah, side of the road parking. I like the Turnpike, probably. I would say the Pike in Ohio is best. Gigantic parking, laundry, right? Plenty so that'd be the best. No fuel, everyone would stop mowing their lawn. Okay. Let the lawn grow. How much does a lawnmower use? Besides, if you can't get gas, the first thing you do is stop mowing your lawn. The lawnmower runs for like 3 weeks on a tank of gas. Jeeps in Belvedere, but my niece works there and said the new Jeeps are trash. Yes, they don't get great. People love them, but they don't get great ratings. And don't they make the small Jeep there though, right? They don't make Wranglers and stuff there. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, happy Monday. George Costanza, fuel goes up. Keep four-wheelers off the road. When frequent? Exactly, it would. Say it was $10 a gallon, people would be less likely to drive somewhere. You can't, because the driver will always be told you're not driving in the proper operating RPM range. Well, they set the operating RPM range. You're not maintaining proper tire pressure. It's always the driver's fault. Well, I would tell them, I'm not a mechanic. You maintain the tire pressure. That would be my take on the tires. And the RPM range, it's an automatic, and they set the parameters of how the truck shifts. So I have nothing to do with that. So if they would like it to shift at some different point, they're welcome to go in the computer and reprogram it. And I personally do think it shifts too high. I've seen the thing shift at 2,300 RPMs, and which I'm very surprised at, but I don't run the truck. So I'm over by Michael. I'm over by Rochester, Minnesota at a Quick Tip, the place with the Angus cheeseburgers for $2. $2 burgers all day. For autonomous to work, tow trucks seem to be able to talk to the robots. They don't mess up the tow truck when they get pulled out. All right, autonomous tow trucks. That's what you want to see Terminator get out of the tow truck to tow you out. Donald Sloan, how's the road construction on 65 to Louisville to Indianapolis? I don't know. Would I be better off taking Cincinnati to Indy? Which would be best right now because of construction? I don't know. I don't go south of Indianapolis on 65. Is anybody on board with that here? Together both. Thanks for a great show as usual. Have a great day. Well, thank you very much. Goodness, I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Can one have a part-time job in trucking? Yes, one could. You could, yeah. Mark will have a sold-out trucking answers to the Scripps Media Group and be retired to a beach before automated trucks are a big thing. Cash is king trucking. Wow. Yeah, Scripps. Send them that message to contact me. Choke a peacock at the manhole. That could be this Saturday's special. I think that's the name of one of the drinks there. Joan Arc, not my lawnmower. I have 2 acres. I guess on a bigger lawn, but even if you had a riding mower, do they use a lot of gas? I mean, seriously? There are a ton of temp services. Yeah, you can go to a temp service and work as little or as much as you want. That's another good way to go part-time in it. You can call them and say, look, the Transforce advertises huge everywhere. And say, look, and they've run ads. Work as much as little as you want. Hi, Mark from 151 in Wisconsin. Andrew Miller. Hello, what's going on up there? The trucks can be outfitted with automatic tire inflators. Yeah, we have those on some of the trailers that I'll have those things. But even so, right, They tell you that all the time. They're always like, oh, you're just a driver. If the truck has a problem, be sure to take it to the mechanic. All right, well, let the mechanic check the tire pressure then. Especially when you're making turn. And the problem is, if they're going to say you're just a driver, well, then I'm just a driver. I'm just doing what they say. That's all. They want to treat me like that, then they can come and check the tire pressure. Especially when you're making turn and it sticks in gear and shifts at high RPM. Yes, absolutely. It does that. And a lot of times when you start out from a stop, it'll go to first for some reason and shift high. And also when you're picking up from a light, that seems to be the worst part. So the light's red, you're slowing down and you pick it back up. It just goes right up to 2300. I don't understand. I would never shift that high, but the truck does it all the time. And it still gets great mileage. I'm in the high 8s, and last week I was loaded both ways all week, which is unusual for me. Usually some of the days I'm empty one way at least, but last week basically 10. So 10 loads. George Costanza, an owner-operator's gripe about the cost of diesel going up in the iron skillet. I told him, not my circus, not my monkeys. Well, an owner-operator that gets good fuel mileage and has a proper fuel surcharge, I believe, would be happy that the price goes up. Right? So where's my owner-operators on that? So if you get a good enough fuel mileage and you have a good enough surcharge, the price doesn't make any difference to you. But, right, it's certainly not your problem, and I agree, same from me. I'll still fill up at the same pump. Teresa trembles. Only at the champagne room. Yes. The riders do use a lot of gas. All right. Well, I guess people can let their lawn go. All I know is that if you raise the price of something enough, you reduce its demand and there'll be a supply for everybody that needs it. So if gas has to go to $12 a gallon for everybody to have some, that's what it has to do. And that would encourage trucking companies to hire more drivers because they could pay them more. Heading down 65 to 70 East, traffic's rocking and rolling. No delays. That's a surprise. I went from Transforce, but they say they don't hire people like you. What does that mean, people like you? What are they trying to say? We don't hire people like you. What does that mean? George H.W. Bush, southbound 65 isn't bad. A few construction spots. Occasionally delay, but not too long. I do a couple times a week. Indy to Louisville. All right. Okay, so you're right down the street from me. I work at a truck stop. Joseph, please ask drivers not to try to overfill their trucks when filling. It's a pain. I don't know why they would. That's all just wasted fuel, and it smells bad. And if you get on your shoes, the whole inside of the truck smells. So, yeah, don't do that. I agree with you. It is a pain to clean up. I love when you pull in the pump, and there's like 20 pounds of that clay stuff or whatever they put down. You're like, oh, who was here before me? George Costanza, if you're a home daily driver, honest question, who does the same route every day? Are you really an experienced driver? You don't learn about mountain driving. It's not like being over the road. Well, it depends if you've only done that. Yeah, I guess you'd only know about that. And I agree with you. And you can tell the difference here from the drivers that have never been on the road to drivers that have come here from being road drivers. I totally agree with you. It's the drivers that have never been on the road. Some of them have never driven a sleeper. So, and then they'll get, their truck will go in the shop or have something wrong and they get a rental and it's a sleeper. And they'll oh, we don't want to drive that. And then they've asked me, Mark, can you take a sleeper? This guy over here, he says he can't get in his dock with a sleeper. I'm like, what if I go do his run and get in that sleeper and get in the dock? Will you give me an extra $2? And they always laugh at me. But that's the thing. That's the problem, right? You come in from drivers that have never driven it and it is different. I agree with you. But yeah, I still think you're a driver. Everybody is an experienced driver. And that's the other thing of local is that once you're local for a while, you can't go back on the road at most companies. They won't let you because you don't have recent over-the-road experience, even if you have a lot of it in the past. Fleet Nav Systems is here for 15 minutes. If anybody has ELD or Geotab questions that they can help with, they would like to be of help to that. And they are the Geotab experts, certainly here, of all of us. And I'm back to my dark mode all the time on there. So there you go. Dark mode. UPS, by the way, with 2 simple tests in the, that's true, in Arizona and Texas, including depot to depot. Supervised autonomy start being doing away with humans, letting trucks drive themselves. Yeah, in the South, on a specified route that's mapped in the truck, an exact route that is mapped in the truck, yes. That is a long way from delivering a flatbed load in downtown Chicago. I'll tell you what, a long way. No, like a long way. Took a position, Jeff, paying a guaranteed pay per week of $1,200 if I work or not. Oh, nice. Tell them I'd rather not. Sounds like unemployment. I was told I would run 17 weeks a year as a fill-in driver, but get paid even if I'm not working. Oh, you know what? That's pretty good. There's a place here that's advertising the same kind of thing. You work 3 weeks and off a week. I just saw it on Craigslist. Work 3, off 1, $14.50 a week every week. Source Logistics. Interesting job, right? So yeah, not bad. So the week you don't work, you still get paid. Freedom Seeker. People are always going to try to run a truck off the road and it's automated. They won't have any second thought about it. I wonder if there'll be some of that. And how will the people know it's automated? Now it's printed all over the truck, but in the future, I assume they'll be kind of low key when they actually don't have somebody in it. I can run some solo runs on Mondays and Tuesdays, still get my 1,200 plus the added runs. Yeah, I'm in. That sounds even better. Chicken Hauler probably wasn't legal, but I used to have a part-time job. I'd get out of the truck at my Monday through Friday and get in the truck for a weekend load at a small local company. Well, it depends if it's legal. Did you have the hours to do it? It's not illegal per se. A lot of companies want you to turn it in, and you'd have to turn logs into both companies, both logs for both companies. But if you had the hours to do it, yes. But I will say this. Who wants to drive also on the weekends after you've driven all week? I mean, that's a lot of work, Usually local requires 2 or 3 years of over the road. So they should have lots of different experience. Truckers, yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Few months. But some drivers have other local experience. I'm telling you, we get drivers that have never been in a sleeper in their whole life. Then they give them a sleeper, or their route will have a sleeper, and they're like, oh, I have to back in the sleeper? I'm like, you're in Indiana. Where do you think you're going? The Bronx? Come on. I have 2.5 years over the road, but I stopped driving in 2008 for over the road and 2010 for local work, Joan Ark. They can't get verification now because they destroy the records after 7 years. Yeah, that's a problem. Dark mode is the bomb. Fleet Nav. I know I run it on the phone day and night too. I don't know why that isn't like the default mode of everything. Why is it dark mode? That should be normal mode. Then there should be like burn your eyes out mode. Michael Muller, if you wear it, make it a parrot. Always. Do not have that phone in your hand. See if you're still getting tickets. George Costanza, when De Beers tried to manipulate the cost of diamonds, synthetic diamonds rose to compete. Synthetic diamonds were 1/5 the cost and more shiny. Synthetic, yeah, but diamonds, are there forever. And synthetic diamonds, how long are they for? Price manipulation creates competition. Non-manipulation, just let the price rise with the shortage of the product. The less of the product, the more it costs, and therefore it spreads out over to more people. Because it's been so long since I've driven, I would be considered a new driver, Joan Ark. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know if Transforce will hire you because they put you at different places. I think you'll see an autonomous yard switcher first, Stan Dodge. I've wrote to a company that has electric yard switchers and never heard back from them, unfortunately. I wanted to go see one. But I think that is a great job for a yard truck, a great job. My job pays me whether I work or not. I didn't work last week and got my $1,300 guarantee and stayed home. Missy, that is pretty good, isn't it? That's even better than staying at the Hilton. $1,300 and no work because you get paid work or not. Guaranteed pay. That is great. And there are drivers that made less than $1,300 and were gone all week and sat for half of their time and never saw their house. That's the thing about trucking. If you are not getting paid properly as a professional, you need to go find somewhere else. Just start looking around. Look, you can make $1,300 and stay at your house. That's awesome. Why do all these big companies, why are they all terrible? Trucking with Drew. Because drivers continue to go there. I mean, that is seriously the problem. When you sit at a place, when they sit you for 3 days, like we had a driver a few weeks and gives you $35, you have to quit immediately. That cannot be tolerated. The only reason they get away with it is because they can do it. That shouldn't be allowed. And then here we have Misty, who gets $1,300 for the same week as sitting at home for a company. George H.W. Bush, who do you work for? Well, the thing is, I don't get asked that often, which is good. But for new people, I do the show every week at 12:30 p.m. And so I always say that, I just keep them out of the videos. I don't mention who I work for because it keeps them out of my videos. And I really recommend that to anybody else that's going to do any kind of videos. Companies scour the internet, whether they're on there much, for their own name. So keeps them out of the videos. They don't get it saying what I put out here. That lets me say whatever I want. That's how we keep it. And I also don't recruit for them. Let them go get their own drivers that can fill their own tires up. How about that? Misty works for CPC Logistics. Oh, that's super nice. Hey, Mark, I just recently, maybe that question wasn't for me. It probably wasn't. All right. I just appropriated a question. I apologize. Hey, Mark, I just recently picked up a new to me, soon to be classic BMW M5. Nice. If you want to do Doug DeMuro style Sunday rant, I'll let you drive it. That'd be pretty awesome. This is an M5. Yeah. What year is that? Western Distress and Swift, which are worse? Well, I just heard that Western got a raise, so... but I've always liked Swift to get started, and especially with a dedicated run at Swift. People that go there and write to me and get a dedicated run seem to like the place. So with the Western, we'll have to see how it goes with the new pay plan. That might not be bad. They still don't treat you well going in. I mean, they're going to have to change that over. You can't stay in the Roach Motel, basically, and I have these pictures of this place. That seems to be, they need to upgrade that. You need to stay in your own room as a professional, no matter if it's at orientation, if you're during the week, if your truck breaks down, whenever they have you stay somewhere, you get your own room, period. Wouldn't hire a local driver that in Maine that can only run Florida due to no experience for winter driving. Michael Muller. Yeah, that's interesting. That's usually not put out in the things. I don't know if anybody's ever asked me. I haven't applied for a job in a long time. Where did you run? Maybe. But somebody could just say that too. I guess here's the thing. So somebody's up there and says, oh yeah, I ran up, 48 states or whatever. No, you're not going to let me see your last year of logs. Nobody ever does that. So Kelter Rooster Travels, Social Security keeps a record of all our work locations and dates. Yeah, that's interesting. Keep phoning companies. You'll find one to take you, even if it's $10.99 and not at 45 cents though. That's an interesting way to do it. Can you pull Social Security records and get your record of work that way? Columbia, George, my company's hiring a driver in Portland, Oregon. CDL Hay Hazmat, home every night, weekends off, and Teamsters. Right, and that's another good job that you have there. Are they having any trouble getting anyone? Swift isn't bad for a starter company. Yeah, George stands right. There's a lot of things you can do at Swift, and they'll keep you busy. There's all kinds of stuff, and they're all over the place. I think still at even a large company, a good place like that is a dedicated run. Then you know what your pay is going to be every week. Misty, the thing about my job is I'm willing to travel at the drop of a hat, so it's worth them to pay me as long as I'm available. Right, so they have a unique position available. They go, we need somebody that can travel whenever, and you're like, well, I'm willing to travel whenever, so they pay you either way. So you've got a good thing going there, and really the way they treat you actually is very good. A car and all these Hilton hotel stays and all that. I think you're treated very well there. You wish you could find a company like that? They're around. Western is complete crap. Look, they're raising their pay. Maybe they can raise their other standards. We can get them up to the standards of a decent company. If you already make decent money, a bonus is just extra. Right. That's the thing. A lot of these companies, though, will start your pay lower in the 40s, and then with bonuses, you get raised up. You got to have a decent base pay, or it isn't worth it. Misty, my safety department loves me. My supervisors love me, and most of my customers love me. That's awesome. Everybody loves you. Being professional, and reliable pays. And you don't wear your sandals to work there, but you could because of your toes that are finished. But yeah, absolutely. Right. That's part of the job. Being on time. If you'll be on time at a job, at any job, and be safe, absolutely. It's a place and stay there. I mean, holy mackerel. You're going to do great. And you are willing to travel. And I think you actually have a better job probably than a road job, for sure. You see different customers all the time. Adam Wayne has an extra ticket for the NASCAR All-Star race in Fort Worth. Book a flight to Texas. It's your ticket. I appreciate it. I don't know anything about NASCAR, but if it was closer to the Great American Truck Show. Saw a YouTube video. The driver was talking to new drivers to see if they would have to stay out over 3 weeks and more. He was inferring a lot more. Why do people lie about this? Tell me a company. The driver was talking to new drivers to see if they would have to stay out over 3 weeks. So are you talking about the recruiters are not telling the truth, or I followed my dad's lead and worked weekends when I grew up? My dad did crosstown piggybacks. And we live very well. That's why drivers do it. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, that sounds like a good job. I teamed with native Floridian in the winter. They had no concerns for life. Nice. It's a 2002. All right. That is a classic, right. Hopefully, is it a stick, too? They have a stick that year? There's a section that asks what states you ran with each company. But if all you did 20 years was local Florida and want to go to Maine, you have no winter driving. I agree, but if the company is both, like for example, Swift would be a good one. Say you're local Florida Swift and a dedicated run, you could just put down over the road Swift and have that kind of thing solved. Setting in Brooklyn, Iowa, watching a red GP Transco truck fuel, thinking teal trucks are a conspiracy. Brian, I know. Red one, it's got to be an owner-operator. I don't think they have any red trucks. There are Misty, there are plenty of companies hiring. UPS is hiring at $28 an hour. Yeah, UPS is a good one. You can go over to UPS right now. They're running ads. Old Dominion had an ad. I haven't seen the ad in a month or so. $99,000 a year for line haul drivers. $99,000 for line haul drivers. And then there are drivers that would sit, for 3 days and make $30. There's plenty of places to go. They have my deck report. I couldn't find my deck report on the BMV website. HireRight.com. You can get your free copy of your deck report. Your BMV, I wondered if your BMV would show when you changed over to a CDL. That's what I was wondering. And in Indiana, you can get that copy free at mybmv.gov. Western Massachusetts Trucking. You do have to start somewhere, and they do serve a purpose in the industry of helping people that have a poor record, meaning usually felonies, get back into trucking. And people that are out of jail need a job. I agree with that. But I still don't think people, just because of a felony, should be treated poorly at a company. The motel was just horrid. One guy said he'd rather go back to jail when he wrote to me than stay at that motel. That really says something. These mega carriers are billion-dollar-a-year companies. I know they can pay drivers better. They could, but they don't have to. Companies pay the least they can to get you so you won't quit, and we do the least work we can so that they don't fire us. That's the way it works at all companies, right? And so if they can get somebody to come in for 38 cents, they do. And they do that by running ads for people that are not in trucking. Because look, if a company advertised 38 cents and, wrote to you and said 38 cents, you wouldn't work there. But new people are like, oh, well, 38 cents, and they tell them, look, you can make $700 a week, $800 a week. They might not be making any money. So that actually works out good for them. Your buddy has a Snapper riding mower, and it only uses 2 gallons a month in the summer, and he has an acre. All right, Snapper. 0-turn mower, nice. Yeah, I know the little pull start mowers don't use that much gas. I don't know. If gas is too much, I guess people would stop mowing their lawn. I do think that the price of objects has to float based on its supply. If the supply goes down, like right now, if they think supply is going to go down, the price should jump so people stop using it. Go to $4, $5 immediately, $5.50, $6 a gallon. People wouldn't use as much of it. They'd immediately curtail their use of it, and there'd be enough to go around for everybody. If they're going to keep it low until they don't have any, then that's going to be a real problem. And then the government steps in and says, oh, gouging, you can't raise the price more than 10 cents. That just makes a shortage of the product. The price should go up to whatever it needs to go up to so everybody has some of it. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough for anybody. So last week I commented on Prime's lease that I thought that they ran a load board. Well, it turns out I was wrong, and Cash King Trucking was right, which is the usual course of events for sure. It seems that many complaints, Prime does basically dispatched even for their lease operators, in that you don't have to take the load. This is what I garnered from reading many reviews, but if you do not take the load they dispatch you on, apparently you may sit for some time, kind of as punishment to, you don't want this load? Well, that's the only load there is, kind of thing. But you don't have to take it. They don't force you into it, but you may sit. And with a high truck payment, you're more likely to take it. But there's not like some load board. I couldn't find that. So I was wrong on that. So Trucking Answers regrets the error for sure. Agreed, Mark. These guys need a place to start. Everyone deserves a second chance and be treated with dignity. Kelters or Trails. Yeah, I agree. Right. If people get out, most people are going to get out of jail and or prison, right, and be back in society. And, without an opportunity, what are people going to do but go back to prison, right? So Western serves a need for people, and they do take a lot of felons. And put them in a truck and get them a job, which is what people need. But you can't just mistreat people. You're like, well, because they know whether you don't really have any other opportunity. You're no better than anybody else. You're just legally mistreating people, and that isn't right. The motel there that people have sent me pictures of is horrid. It's terrible. And the poor treatment and really low pay that people have gotten there, although now they're raising their pay, which I applaud. It isn't right to do to people because they don't have any other opportunity. You're using them. It isn't right. They should still be treated properly. Forrest Gump had a snap remower. Did he really? I don't remember. I haven't seen that show in so long. That's true. I get 50 cents a mile refund. That's decent. Yeah, look, that's not bad, right? Melton gave me a $5,000 bonus, and they paid me very well. Not all bonuses are scams. George Costanza. I don't think they're scams. I don't think bonuses are scams. I just don't like them. And when drivers are interviewed, like USA Truck did, they don't like them either. And I'm talking about these weekly kind of bonuses where if you get 8 miles to the gallon, you get 2 cents. And if you do 3,000 miles a week, you get 4 cents. And if you, fuel the truck at the right places, you get 2 cents. All those kind of things. Just what drivers said there and overall is just pay people. Rather than doing all this, just pay people a higher rate and forget all the bonuses on their pay. That's what drivers have said about it. But I don't think they're scams at all. I just think some of them are like Masilla, which is a big one on it. They're unattainable. They make some of their bonuses really high, and it's hard to get. You're going up and across 80 every day with dog food loads. It's tough to get 9 miles to the gallon. From watching your content, I would like to go over the road. All right, Joseph. But also love my job to support drivers. I just hate to have to tell drivers when they're violating safety issues and getting an angry driver. Well, it depends what safety issue. I mean, drivers that are unsafe need to be told that they're being unsafe and to not do it. We only want safe drivers on the road, all of us. Our families, we got to be out there too. So, it aggravates me when I see drivers doing stuff that's completely unsafe. It's super aggravating. There's no excuse for it. That big accident in Washington State, I wrote this down, right? There's a crash in Washington State last week. Did you see this? 30,000 pounds of fish crashed into a truck hauling milk. And they were slowed down for a previous accident. And, of course, one guy kablamos into the guy in front of him. That's a technical term there for accident. And he spills all this milk. They showed cars driving through a bunch of milk. It went all over the road on both sides of the road. Fish and milk. And I thought, isn't that some kind of French dish? But I don't know. But I'm not a chef. Anyway, there's no excuse for that. Pay attention. When traffic is stopped and you crash into them at full speed, you are not watching what you're doing. Only 9,900, Joshua, and some change came to America from 2000 to 2003. 6-speed manual, nice. Standard only. Oh, okay. Option available on titanium, silver over black, extended leather. All right. I'm ready. Kevin is late. All right. Sorry. Bought it during COVID from a Canadian-based seller that was kind of nightmare. Really? Is it in kilometers? For the logistics to do the DMV closing and border custom, but it's here and it's awesome. Is it all Canadian then? Is it right-hand drive? And are the gauges in French? Is there any such thing as a walkaway lease? Yes. What's the difference between lease and a lease purchase? There are some companies that offer walkaway leases. You'd have to ask them. Each one is different, but there are some that have walkaway leases. So some of them, CRST I think is one actually, although I don't recommend it. I think if I remember, 21 days. You give them 21-day notice and you can be out of your lease anytime. Just give them a 21-day notice so you basically have 3 more payments and you're done. And there are other companies that do that too. So yeah, they do have some where you can get in and just literally, if it's not working out, you're just out of there. Experienced drivers making YouTube videos inferring that you'll have to stay out over 3 weeks, a month, and more. Why did he tell such lies? These are so-called drivers, not recruiters. Well, some drivers use YouTube to recruit, and some drivers make literally thousands of dollars a month recruiting for their company. Prime drivers are good for that, right? They'll put all this great stuff out, and they get, $500, sometimes $1,000 a driver on their first load. So if you have a channel that has, any kind of reach, what if you put 2 people a week in there? Just 2 people a week you reached out to, and that's $2,000 a week potential for you just from that. That's incredible money. That's why I recruit for Prime all the time. We as good drivers shouldn't take anything less than 70 cents. It's getting a lot more expensive to live and work on the road. We should take more money. You should demand to make good money on the road, and I always think road drivers ought to be paid well. You're away from your family. You're away from your life. That's more important to me. It's your time. And it does cost a lot of money to live on their own. Laundry and everything, is expensive. Food. But your time, they're taking away your life. You only have so many days. You have to give a whole day to work, 24 hours, where, if you're local or whatever, you give less than that. That should be worth something. That should be worth a lot. People never value their time enough. Time's the most important thing that you have, time. And people put no value on it at all. The real Big John Trucking. I ran into some friends I had at Prime a few weeks ago. They said very few people have access to the load board and that it paid well. Yeah, that's I thought all the lease drivers there had load board, but they don't. From what I'm finding, and as Cassius King Trucking said, they're dispatched. Okay, it's a dispatch system. They give you a load, but you don't have to take it. Nobody said that they were forced to take it, just that they're kind of squeezed into it by saying, okay, and then no load comes for a while. And that's not really in the spirit of being an independent contractor, is it? You're supposed to, you should have access to all loads. But they'd say, well, look, we don't force anybody to take a load. Flat highway. Saw a DOT officer get arrested for opening trailers at a road ranger in Springfield. Why would he do that? Why would an officer do that? He's got to be there with you and reseal it and everything. Holy mackerel. He should get arrested. Gotta love Mark. This man is so full of knowledge. I don't know about that. Dusted B. With everything happening in the world I haven't watched in a while. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look, I just do what I can. I do what I can on it. I want AB5 to be enforced. I agree with you. I think it's a better law than people put out there. Gracie was on her way to Washington to clean up the milk. With all the naps, it would take her longer than that guy biking out there. Holy moly. Have a great week and stay safe, Fleet Nav Systems. Everybody keep using the dark mode. I will, and I love dark mode. Thanks for being here. Let us know when the next live will be. They're Geotab all the time. Dark mode. Don't you love it? You know you love it. Thank you, Geotab, for that. Ralph is here. Good afternoon. Just got diesel on the Mudflap app, 270 Wisconsin. Mark. Now, see, that's pretty good. And I heard that Mudflap app can save you some good money. Listen, Trailliner is, where did I go off to? Trailliner, right, I moved this. Behind the scenes stuff here. Behind the scenes. Trailliner is out and back to Springfield, Missouri team company that don't pay much. So all I'm saying from Trailliner, I don't know anything about them other than that, is that they cannot in one line say there's a driver shortage, and then on the next line say they have to turn drivers away because they don't have trucks for them. They either have a shortage and can't find drivers, like in the first paragraph, or they have to turn drivers away because they don't have trucks in like the sixth paragraph of the same article. They cannot have it both ways. They're either short drivers or have too many drivers. Bonuses are kind of like Lucy holding the football for Charlie Brown. Oh, Kelly, that's very good. That's a blast from the past. Joan Arc Prime is a walkaway lease, but also pays 75% of what the load pays. How do you know what they're being honest and not ripping you off? I didn't know Prime could walk away. I wasn't aware of that. But you never know on a percentage, in my opinion, of what you're getting from the load. You just don't. Even if they send you what they call a load confirmation, you have no idea if they made that up or anything. You just don't know. You really don't know. That maybe they're telling you the truth, okay? And maybe not. Next live is next Tuesday. At 3 p.m. All right, Tuesday. We'll be interviewing Phillips Connect on their trailer trackers. All right, Phillips Connect. The light bulb people. Also related to Wilson Phillip, possibly. Did you see the Domino's commercial? Driverless delivery. I did. Kevin, they don't have the thing here. I looked. I was going to order one just to see the thing show up. But they don't have it here yet. Interesting. The Noid is back too, if anybody remembers that, which people probably don't remember. Joshua Knight. It was a U.S. spec car. It was bought in Texas and went up there in 2004, and now it's back in the motherland. Yeah, you repatriated it, kind of. I guess it would be repatriated back to Europe, but okay, so it's not in none of the things are in French, and it's not right-hand drive, is what you're saying. So that's good. Because I was concerned, being a Canadian car, it would be reversed, and so that'd be kind of weird driving it here. I've never driven a right-hand drive car, but it'd be kind of like driving a mail truck, I guess. All right, so that's pretty awesome. And you don't see, they're not usually in silver, so I would like that better too. So pretty good. So the 80, oh, right. Okay, the cement truck driver, I wanted to ask about this. So, and this is a terrible story, really. The cement truck driver apparently was coming down a hill and lost his brakes and died in the accident. And his family, this was a little bit ago, and his family is now going to sue the company that hired him, which was a leasing service, the trucking company, and somebody else, right? 3 people, because of lack of maintenance, okay? Neglected maintenance and inspection of the vehicle. And my question is, as horrible as this story is, isn't it ultimately the driver that is leaving with the vehicle to inspect the vehicle and ensure its safety, its safe operation? And if it isn't safe, isn't that our fault or our purview, basically, to say, I'm not driving it. I'm simply not driving this vehicle. That happened to me probably a few years ago. Here, we had a trailer, and they're like, oh, can you take this other trailer, other than my normal trailer, down there? That's when I was going to Evansville. And I'm walking around. I'm looking back there. Like, nah, I don't know about this. You hook it up, you can hear the air coming out from the cab. All right, so I go back there. I'm like, holy mackerel, you could barely keep air in it. I go over to the shop and have them come out there. Well, one of the brake chamber things apparently blew out of it. And I don't know all the technical terms because I'm not a mechanic. But he couldn't get the part until the next day because it's late. He goes, I can't get one until the morning. So he goes, all I can do is pinch off the line, and roll all the brakes back if you need the trailer to move, because you couldn't release the brakes because you couldn't get air back there. I'm like, well, that's not a great plan. I tell them, they go, oh, well, it still needs to go to Evansville. I go, well, I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't have any, the only way you can move if it doesn't have brakes. And they're like, oh, well, it still needs to go down there. I go, I don't know what to say. We went around and round about it. I go, look, it's not going anywhere. I finally wrote to the guy at their work address, thematwork.com, right? Because they have their own work email. And I said, look, this trailer has out of service problems and it's got, these issues. And so I'm not driving it because you got to do all this stuff in writing or they'll never know anything. And then he goes, okay, but you don't have to take it. So how nice of him. He goes, so I went home that day because that was where I was going. And I wrote to him again. I said, you better pay me for today because this is your problem and not my problem, because I also get a guarantee. I said, but I don't want to hear about it. And I did get paid for it that week. So, but sometimes you got to just put the squeeze on them. If there's a safety problem, you cannot take the vehicle. You just can't. And that's the same in the cement truck, I think. If the driver, who's the last one to inspect it, has to be before it leaves, thinks there's any kind of problem, it can't go out until it's fixed, especially brakes. Joseph, have you been to the Sturbridge pilot? How do you like the changes? Where's the Sturbridge pilot? Yeah, avoid the Noid. Oh, somebody does remember the Noid. Domino's has no delivery in the People's Republic of Portland. Misty, how come? Why can't they? Why is there no delivery? They're not allowed? Joshua, in order to get a right-hand drive, a European spec house to Billy's 25-year-old, bring it to the U.S., might do that in the future. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be crazy to see one of those. Domino's commercials for propaganda, they don't use them. Really? There are, I don't know, it's not Domino's. They're in Purdue, which I've seen them driving around over here. There's little food delivery things that are the size, I would say they're the size of 4 igloo coolers together, driving themselves around campus by itself. I've seen them. I had to wait for one that was crossing the road. It's super slow. Imagine walking slow. It's slower than that, whatever you just imagined. This thing is dry and has like a bike flag on it, so you can see it because it was only, 3 feet tall. And they have these things at Purdue going around from food delivery places. So I don't know why Domino's wouldn't have one, that it's propaganda. Joseph, Sturbridge, Massachusetts. Oh, I've not been to Massachusetts in some time. So there may be somebody here that has gone to, but I don't know. I haven't been out there. That's a while. Headed out to the East Coast. How's the gas? If you're there, how's the gas situation as we talk about the Colonial Pipeline problem? Have you seen any problems? Because that would be part of where the pipeline is. Really? Let's see here. Let's see. Yellow Freight, 721. Roadrunner, 423. USA Truck went up 5% to $17.95, and I would think that's pretty interesting that they announce a pay change and basically a pay raise for everybody, and their stock goes up. That's pretty interesting. And they reported a great first quarter too, so which is good news for everybody working there too. Diesel was $3.14 a gallon. Gas here, $2.98, like I said, and Dogecoin, which I'm tracking now, 51.6 cents at noon. Now, for all we know, now it's $4 or it's 8 cents. I have no idea. But that was at noon, 51, which it was 70 cents last week. So hopefully you didn't buy any of it last week. But I looked in April, it was a penny or like 5.2 cents. That would have been a good buy in April. Nice. It's the driver's, Misty, it's the driver's responsibility to check the truck. But a lot of companies pressure drivers. That is true. If you're a new driver or someone who can be bullied, some companies will put the pressure on. Yeah, that's, that is true. And I don't know if this driver was new or whatever. And companies do that. They'll try to put the squeeze on you. Oh, we'll just get going. We got work to do, especially cement truck. We got to do so many loads a day. And, we can't be messing around. But absolutely, no matter who, though, if you just started last week, or you've been driving forever, like this 88-year-old guy whose truck was immaculately maintained, by the way. If the truck's unsafe, you can't drive it because, look, this ended up killing a couple of people, including the driver. So that's certainly, even if they say you're going to be fired, that's better than being dead and the scale of things that are bad. Dead is like way up there on bad things, and fired is not as bad as that. So we want to be on the lower end of the bad things, and being dead is not great. I don't know. And certainly the company his leasing company, look, I'm not an attorney. You'll have to contact the local FMCSA field office about that. But I don't think that the leasing company has anything to do it. We'll see what the court says. Will they all settle? Probably. They'll probably eventually settle. That's usually how these cases go. I don't know. But I see that the driver is the last line of defense from a truck or vehicle that has a safety problem. So if it's unsafe, do not drive it no matter what. Take pictures of it. Make sure you write to them and say, I'm not driving, and this is why. That's how you do it. Columbia, George, Misty, I'll deliver Domino's for you. Yeah, not right down the street. Like the pizza oven car they used on commercial was only used for promotion. Slim Shady. That's not true. We had one of those. That is a Chevy Spark, and they made a bunch of those. And we had one here. That pizza oven car? No. They used one here in town. A Chevy Spark, and they had a special hot box basically put in the back end of it. Yeah. A guy bought that car on YouTube. You can look this up. And he got in trouble from Domino's because he redid the car and drove it around, but it saw the Domino's logo on him, and they had their lawyers contact him. So, because they said, look, you don't work for Domino's. You got to repaint that car. Meat lovers, no, Misty, no sausage. Right, exactly. So with the Domino's robot being so slow, are you saying I won't get my pizza in 20 minutes, Bobby Irvin? Well, the Domino's car is a speed limited car. The robots that are driving around Purdue are not from Domino's. I don't know what they are, but they're food delivery, and they're the size of a few large igloo coolers on wheels. They're electric, and they drive themselves around. They have some kind of keypad on them, and apparently when you are given your order, you get the number to it. And I guess there's a QR code which you can scan also, and that opens it up and you can take your food out of it. Apparently is how it works. That's the way I understand it. But I've seen them driving around, and they're very slow. And they stop for everything. Anything moves in front of it, it stops. Even if it's in the middle of the street. Joan Arc, even though you're in extreme upper 30s, does one get tired easier the older they get? Joan Arc, yes. You do. Of course. So that's why I try to run not too long of a day at work also, because it gets tiring. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, 20 years old, I could drive across the country, on little sleep and sleep 3 hours and work all day. That, now in extreme upper 30s, that is much harder to do anymore. I recommend everybody, though, maintain the same schedule if possible, although it's very difficult. How much lighter is a day cab versus a sleeper, assuming the same brand? Not that much. That sleeper doesn't weigh that much. I think they're, a couple 1,000 pounds is it, right? For that sleeper, 1,000 pounds? It isn't much. I guess it's mostly the driver. When I drove pneumatics, I turned down trailers all the time due to leaks and bad brakes. Misty, exactly. I mean, when the thing has got problems, you got to turn it down. Bad brakes, that thing can't go anywhere until it gets fixed. Now, look, if there's a light out or something, I'll run the thing over and get it fixed. But brakes or whatever, no. They got to come to the vehicle and fix it right where it sits. And how the trailer got to the yard is beyond me. Some goofball drove it there. It's crazy. I'm like, this trailer could have killed somebody coming in here. It's still running around. It's probably still on its way. The hole is here. Start over. I appreciate it. Keltarusu Travel. I learned from experienced truckers, your CDL is your golden ticket. Protected, it's your high closing ticket, right? Protected, don't fear being fired if you insist on maintaining safety. Absolutely, but just do all that in writing. Make sure you do it in writing so that you can show whatever next company, if it comes down to that, hey, this is why they fired me or whatever. This is a safety issue, and this was the exact issue right here. So they know that you're doing. Misty, are you Jewish? You don't eat pork, Misty. No. Lebanese, I don't eat sausage. Got it. You're going to get pizza delivered there before you know it. I'm in the early 40s and broke several millennials at Zoomers. In 40s, right. In your early 40s, yes. But once you get to your extreme upper 30s, it's harder and harder to do those long days. You have to get some, you have to get at least a little bit of sleep. And the work, it's just harder to do. It is. And this 80-year-old driver, right, I give him all the credit in the world. I don't know how many hours a day he must sleep. I don't know, because driving, it's very exhausting. So I can't, it's all of his time is spent probably maintaining his truck. This guy and this 88-year-old that was meticulously maintained. And I love that they took his picture and put it out there and said, look, here's a guy who can, everything was good on him. Everything worked. He passed the inspection. Hopefully he got a sticker. I didn't even look at his truck. So hopefully they gave him a sticker. If you haul for the Colonial Pipeline, the FMCSA has exempted you starting the other day through June 8th from all the 390 sections except having a driver's license, basically, and the drug testing part of it. That's it. Everything else, you're exempt. Exempt. Isn't that good? Misty, I stay at Hilton's only. Right, that's great. Stay at one place in a Hilton, a great choice, right? To get all the points. I try to stay on one airline, too, unless they pick the plane ticket. But otherwise, yeah, get all the points. I mean, even though the wife doesn't fly much, we always use Delta because then each year she can accumulate points flying back and forth to see her kid in Seattle, and eventually we'll get a free ticket or whatever. And this year she's taking her granddaughter with her, so we get 2 tickets. And the brilliance of Delta, as an aside, which has nothing to do with trucking, they changed their flight as usual to another flight. They go, oh, that flight canceled. And then so what do? They split the two of them up. They were 1A and B, and then the new flight, they go, you're 1A and 1C. Now, who does that? Look, I may not be super smart, but if somebody buys 2 tickets together on this, at the same time on the same card, don't those 2 people want to fly together? Why would you split people up? So I had to call them up and get the seat switched so that the 2 of them can sit together. It doesn't make any sense to me. In the computer, it should automatically know. I'm sure somebody didn't do it on purpose, but they should know not to split up people, buy tickets at the same time. Crazy. Joan Arc, I don't feel so bad that I tire more easily. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I mean, that's how it works. Still can do a whole day's work, certainly. I felt like I might have COVID. Then I remembered I worked 2 weeks in 1 week. Oh, yeah, that'll do it too, right? I wish everything worked correctly on me. Yeah, it takes a while to get up and moving. I agree with you. So why I might be tired? Maybe. Pickle Part Pete eats tube steak. That is true. Got to go pick up a package. See you all on the road, Misty. All right. Oh, see you out there. Thank you for being here. Joan Arc, like Mark in my extreme upper 30s. At 20, I could move heavy objects out of my way. Nowadays, I just ask myself, why move it and just walk around? Exactly. Exactly. Right? Try to get it a little bit easier. That's why I don't work as much at work. Not just because you're tired, but I think that, your time is really super valuable. But I don't do a long day at work. Most people on here probably work more than me, and I would say 90% of the people here make more than me. Last night I watched the movie Midsummer and thought of you. Oh, nice. I don't know what that is. I'm not woke enough to fly Delta. Well, there's only 2 airlines that fly out of Indianapolis to Seattle nonstop. And this year, there was only 1 that flies out of Indianapolis nonstop, and it's Delta. So, and it's the way to really fly. So, it was Delta. And they ended up changing the flight anyway. But what I'm saying is that I wouldn't switch people that buy tickets at the same time. Now, they don't know, because an adult starts at 13, and the granddaughter is 13. So, you just buy 2 adult tickets. So, they don't know that she's flying with basically a child, but, or a kid. But even if two adults buy tickets at the same time, why would you give them seats that are separated? Who does that? Put the A and B, right? You don't move them to then A and C. Crazy. Jordan, but otherwise, if you didn't do that, you'd have to go American to like Chicago or whatever out of here. So Delta's much simpler to fly straight through, which hopefully they're going to put that flight back. Alaska used to fly nonstop here. They don't anymore. Or at least they didn't have tickets on her dates because they are filling back up. Noob Ernie. Oh, Mark, where's Noob Ernie work anyway? Bruce, are you vaccinated? No, I'm not. So I have a lot of problem with it. The wife is. She is 100%, and she's past her 2 weeks now. So she is, but I'm not. I have a lot of problem with the flu shot. And so I'm super hesitant. I mean, that gets me really sick. And I'm really hesitant. The wife got, she was sick for a couple of days from this shot. And I've known a couple other people just at work that I know that the second day of that second shot, and I thought, man, I really react to this other stuff. So I ought to take 3 days off to go do this. So at the moment, no. And they don't, they pay you to get it and still didn't get it. So Mark doesn't get COVID. COVID gets Mark. Yeah, exactly. I'm hopefully going to not get it again. So I shouldn't have any problems with it. But I'm just hesitant because I don't want to get super sick from getting that shot, really. I just don't want to get sick from it. The flu shot puts me down for, gets me really, really sick. So I don't know if it's worth it to me to go get it. I don't really go anywhere, so hopefully it won't be a problem. Eventually, though, I think that when the shot becomes approved, that's what the word is for them, by the FDA, which is going to happen, then companies might start mandating it. Then you'll have a real problem. You have to be an old to get it 50 years plus now. Oh, okay. Well, now here, anybody can get the shot here, if that's what you're saying. Maybe if Crystal Pepsi would get in on it, we could get some of it then. It is the clear alternative. They'd like me to mention them so they can get their sales improved, We don't want to have sales go off for them. 50 years now. This crash, though, I just wrote that down because the crash at Washington State, although it's terrible, and it was fish and milk, which I thought was something. People, the only reason that somebody slams into stop traffic at 60 miles an hour is they're not paying attention. They either fell asleep, they're looking down, they're not paying attention. This could have got some people killed. So a couple of people were injured. Nobody died from it, although the road was closed for hours. It inconvenienced probably thousands of people. It gave people it gave the car washes in the area probably a big boom because you'd have to go wash your car if you drove through a big milk puddle. Or your car's going to stink the place up. And I just think that, that's something that drivers should really think about. You can't be doing anything except driving. That's it. New Bernie, I work for DM Bowman. Oh, I've seen them around. Out of Indy. All right. Been doing runs from Indy to Texas. Oh, I didn't know so that's overnights. I thought a lot of those guys were back, but maybe they have these overnight runs too. All right. Well, if you leave in the afternoon, you'll see me cruising around Indianapolis. Jeff Heiss did the J&J shot. Wife got Pfizer. Not even a sore arm. Wow. I'm in my early 50s and a bit overweight. A bit. No symptoms at all. I also have problems with the flu shot. Will not take it after my scare. So you didn't get any symptoms for this, but have a problem with the flu shot. See, I've had this flu shot and get really sick from it. That's why I'm hesitant about this shot. And the wife, which she's certainly in her extreme upper 30s, she would say, did have some issues with it. So, you Bernie, Crystal Pepsi, yeah, it's the clear alternative. You've never seen a taste like this. You can see right through it. The scary movie where they sacrifice the foreign visitors. Way more hardcore than with these other ones. Finns just get drunk, fight, and then feel shame and have a picnic with wieners. The Finns. It's a great horror story with beautiful scenery. That sounds like a movie that we all want to see. That sounds kind of like Convoy. Great horror story. Are there any USA truck drivers otherwise that have heard about this new pay? Have they told you about it? And what do you think? Because USA Truck announced that they're going to kill a lot of their bonuses off and just raise their base pay for most drivers. And I wondered, are there any USA Truck drivers? And what do you think? Do you think you'll get a pay raise? They're basically suggesting that by getting rid of, like, say they get rid of 7 cents in bonuses but give you 10 cents base, you're actually going to end up getting a pay raise for most drivers there, and it is what drivers wanted. And I'm also curious, do they do surveys there? Because they said we regularly survey our drivers anonymously about things, and this is where we got this information from. And I was curious, do they really ask their drivers stuff? Because, maybe companies do that. I don't know. Does a place like USA Truck, do they send out anonymous surveys? Michael, me and my wife both got the J&J shot. We live in Iowa. 14 days afterwards, she got the shingles. Really? Doctor said that happens in some people because it lowers your immune system. Why would a shot lower your immune system? And if I may ask, how old is your wife? Because you get a shingles shot at 60, I think, right? Something like that. There's a shot for the shingles. I think so. I didn't realize. How would it lower your immune system? See, I don't know anything about that. I'm mellow with age. I'm more of a, yes. Klarna can't knit. I'll take that. Although it's kind of fun wasting food that deserves it. Right, that's true. There was no J&J shot here. The only shot available in Lafayette was the Pfizer shot. So you didn't really get a choice. You could go to other cities, and some of them had it, but the wife was like, why travel, when I can just go right here to get the shot, to CVS or whatever. That's who was doing it here. Jeff, I don't trust the shot or any kind of flu shot. In the past 15 years, I got the flu once, 2 days. I was over it. Yeah, I got it years ago and was sick. And then a couple of years ago, the doctor talked me into it. Oh, you should get it. Don't worry. That was just a fluke. And I was like really sick again. I'm like, it's the shot. Right. Oh, well, maybe it is the shot then. Maybe you react. I'm like, that's what I told you in the first place. What are you talking about? It's poison. Why get a shot if you're healthy? Well, I mean, we get polio shots and stuff like that. So, and I never had polio. So I'm certainly not opposed to shots that way. It's just that I get really sick from the shot. I don't want to have to take a week off of work because I go get a shot. They don't pay you enough for that. They only pay you a little bit of money to go get the shot. That'd be great, though. I wonder if they would. Oh, I should ask them about that. We don't get any sick days. Pigpen, tip your host so Mark can get some of those high-quality wieners this week. That's what we want, right? Let's see, these kind of high-quality wieners, like this. That's what you call a loaded wiener right there. Loaded. I wanted to treat myself to a good scary movie that would torture Peter better with yes. There's too many dots on that. Love your series of companies doing it better. Make some new videos about companies you haven't covered. Yeah, I have to get into that. There's not that many. I will say there are not that many road companies, which is what I try to do those about, that are doing it better. Not that many. They also have some kind of issues. Like somebody just sent me a company the other day. Here, check this out. Right. Not as a doing it better company. Detention after 3 hours if they get it. That isn't great. Pre and post-trip inspections are important for the equipment safety. The same should be done for the individual. That's true too. Right. The equipment and yourself. If you're tired or sick or whatever, don't drive. If you don't think you're safe to drive, don't drive. The FMCSA stands behind you. And really, so does the public, because you wouldn't want somebody out there sick that's driving if they actually didn't think they could drive safely. Not like, you take a Dayquil and you're okay. I mean, if you're too sick to drive, don't drive. Call off and, stay home or wherever you are. Get the Midwest shot mixed between high-speed chicken feed and homemade corn whiskey. More people would probably be in for that. Keltarusu, Moderna. Okay, so you had the Moderna. See, that wasn't available here either. Only in town. Pfizer was in town. They're going to be doing them at the Iowa 80 in Walcott, if you saw that, for the next couple of weeks. Daytime hours only. If you're going to run by there, check that out if you want to get the shot. Gear Jammer got the second COVID shot 9 days ago. Felt tired the next day, and later on the second day, you were fine. Yeah, so that's about the same. The wife was a little more sick the next day. Use at least 3 shower credits for loaded wiener. You should always have an extra shower credit to burn in case you want a private stall. All right, I'm sure everybody's been in that situation, but always keep an extra credit in case you need a private stall. You're like, you know what? I think this is going to be burn a shower time. Jeff, sleep is undefeated. Oh, that's the way. Always get enough sleep. But if you're tired, and they want you to come in, you just can't come in. If they're waking you up and you're still tired, continue to sleep. Continue to sleep, because the FMCSA says if you don't think it's safe to drive, you don't have to drive. A company can't make you drive. Now, they'll fight and stuff. They might even fire you, but there have been tons of drivers that have filed suits and won for this very reason. But be sure all this is done in writing, because it's not like you're going to get money the next week. And I don't know if you'd win, but a lot of drivers do win this. But be sure to do everything in writing. If it's a safety thing, take a picture. If you're not safe to drive, write to them. I'm not safe to drive. Are you asking me to drive when it's unsafe? For bad health, it's dangerous. Death is no laughing matter. That's true. Right. Death, not great. That's really high on the things that are bad. That's why I'd rather people slept or even got fired than die, because we can always correct everything else. Dave Johnson, I enjoy the Crap Company of the Week series. Any chance of bringing those back? Not under that, not that way, no. In Gearjammer's defense, he has a CPAP, so he's a supercharged lacquer CPAP. Now, here's the thing. People always tell me at a certain size or whatever, you have to get a CPAP. They didn't even ask me about anything at my physical that I just had. Do you sleep okay? Or nothing, right? If you're getting that at your company, it is a company thing. It is not a DOT thing yet. It might be in the future, but it is not yet. I was waiting for that question. They didn't even ask me anything. I guess because I looked like I was awake at the physical. I don't know. I was there at 2 p.m. one day, so it wasn't any problem. Not even question one about it. So it wasn't any issue. It isn't a DOT. It's up to your company. And some of them, I will say here, if you want a sleep study, you can just tell them and they'll arrange it for you. But you do not have to take it or anything here yet. Got my first Moderna. I felt like COVID symptoms. Bruce. Is that a 1 or is that the 2 shot? Okay. Kelly, I like Bellagio's Pizza in Lake Oswego, suburb of Portland. I'd have to see it. It's probably better than most others. I don't know, though. Unless it's Chicago, unless they have a Godfather's out there, I don't know what to say. Oregon pizza? What is on it? I went to Atlanta Braves game Saturday, and they were giving the shot. I'll pass the National Guard. I'll pass till the National Guard says I have to. They were giving it there. So how do you get the second shot? Or was that the single shot? Chicago Holler. Because if you're there, do you have to come to another Atlanta Braves game? Come in 2 weeks for this next shot? I mean, that's not a bad way to get people to buy another ticket. But, yeah. So are they giving a second shot out? Do you get the card right there if it's the first shot? I guess if they're giving a single shot out? I don't know. They say the shot is free, but they did want the insurance card, which I thought was pretty interesting. So the wife had to hand that over. I thought that was pretty good. I thought the shot is free. They said, well, it's free, but we charge your insurance if you have insurance. So if you don't have insurance, it's free, meaning we charge everybody else's insurance a little more for it. Remember, free things are, of course, never free. Nothing in life is free, no matter what people say. Gracie will not be getting the shot, by the way. She's not impressed, and that's where she'll stay. Where are you getting the shot? Certainly. Remember, if you wear to make it a parrot, of course, as we say. And if you're looking for a place there, I finally got the number on there. GP Transco would like to talk to you. All right. So $1,250 a week guarantee. Be treated like a professional. And there you go with that. And where did I go off to? Oh, right there. Fleet Nav Systems was here today, which I appreciate very much. Schuster's out there giving out money like it's no tomorrow. Don't forget about Crystal Pepsi to quench your thirst. It's the clear alternative. I appreciate them sponsoring the show today. Jay, and always, don't forget about Jay. Go see Jay about your car hauling. I don't know anything about car hauling. Jay knows everything about car hauling. And don't forget about this guy. He could be at a truck stop near you, walking through whatever's in the parking lot in those. Yikes. And his toes are not pedicured. I'll tell you, but maybe should be. Kenneth B. made it. Hello, Mark and Gracie. Gracie is sleeping, of course, but I will let her know you said hello. You think the day will come when they issue speeding tickets based on GPS? Absolutely. I'm surprised they don't do it already. In Europe, I've seen these things. In England, they have average speed radars. So you pass under this one, and then you pass another thing way up there, and they take your speed and subtract, right, and do mathematics, and in between, and that's your speed. So that's how it goes in there. So yeah, you can get tickets for that already. John, our GP Transco hasn't been here today. Yeah, they're not. Sometimes they're busy or whatever. They got a 450 truck company or whatever, and so he can't get over here, and that's okay. They'll be back eventually. I think they're giving the J&J shot at the Atlanta. Is that the single shot, though? They're giving one of the 2 shots for the J&J. Well, see, if you got the 2 shot, though, you'd have to figure out the second shot. So I'd say if you're there and you're like, I'll get the shot, just get the single shot. You're already there, right? I mean, why not? Joan Ark, another great show. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I hope you get something going down there. They still make Crystal Pepsi. Kenneth P. They must. They're sponsoring the show. So, yeah. All right. Last week, the AOL was sponsored. This week, we have Crystal Pepsi. So, that's good. I'm glad I'm getting these people on to get the place sponsored. So, that's pretty good. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much from folks at PepsiCo. I'm sure they'll appreciate that as well. Get the shot. I got 2 with no problems. Age extreme lower 60s. But I react poorly to the flu shot. Poorly. And from what I've read, a number of people commented, and I looked this up, that redheads do have these poor reactions to these vaccines, and I do have that problem. You can't see, but there is still some red hair sticking out. But, yeah, and I really do. And the doctor's like, well, if you have this poor reaction or whatever, so I'm just on the fence about it. But I'm not, opposed to them at all. I'm just on the fence for me personally about it because I don't want to be laid out for 3 days. Considering how the wife was sick, and she doesn't get sick from the flu shot. I could be sick for 5 days, and I just don't want to see that, George Wilson, keep it clean always. Oh, shower every day. Keep it real and keep it safe. See you next week. All right. If you're looking at GP, my driver code is 1669. Daddy needs that sweet referral. Adam Wayne. That's true. This trucking channel does not take money from trucking companies. So there you go with that. Antifa's on the Oregon pizzas. Good. Get them to do something. They're ordering more teal socks for the sign-on. Everybody gets teal socks. I don't know if that's true. Oh, and Adam Wayne will split it with you. That's nice. Jeff Ray's Crystal Pepsi. Yeah, Crystal Pepsi. It's the clear alternative. Kevin, you make Mondays great again. I gotta go. Well, I appreciate you being here. I bought Crystal Pepsi for Mark. Was reprinted 7-0. I just wrote it on there, kind of like Michael Bublé on those commercials. Bublé. The last time I saw Crystal Pepsi, I was in my extreme upper 30s. Really? Well, they're back. Yes, and J&J is one and done. That'd be the one to do. If you're just there and thinking, all right, I'm going to get it because I'm here, take the single shot and be done with it. So you don't have to figure out a second shot. So that's certainly how it goes. First was Alexandra the other day, which I appreciate. George Costanza was first today, which I also appreciate. Pigpen was here today. Let's see. The Hool was here. I appreciate you coming in. Slim Shady was here. Kildarusu Travels. I appreciate it. Jordan B. Oh, New Bernie. Maybe we'll see each other going through town down there. Gear Jammer. Thank you for being here. Misty Rab was here. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing great out there. Boy, Maxima. Nice. Sweet. Did you pick that out? Well, she's gone. That's true. So I forgot about that. Columbia George. Hello there. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Where did I go? Luke 1, 2, 3, 4. Bobby Irwin was here. Irvin, sorry. Columbia George. And let's see here. Oh, Slim Shady 76 was here. Joshua Knight was here. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. And Sultan Murray. They're going to have a live show soon. And Dustin B was here. Flat Highway. And let's see. Joshua Knight. I do have to head out. My place will gripe at me. The president, George H.W. Bush, was here, of course. John McCain. And let's see here. Oh, there's this. Don't forget about this. And, of course, be safe out there. More videos to come. And we will see you soon. Let me know, any USA truck drivers, what you think about the pay raise and if it's going to help you out. So, like they say, I think it will. I actually think it's a good idea for places to do it. So I'm happy about it. And a raise at Western Express. Boy, what's next in this world? Holy mackerel. I'm glad for the drivers there. Believe me. They're way underpaid and deserve it. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for being here.